do a quick sound check with everyone that's out there. If you all could put your hands up there on the left-hand side, if you see the control button there, and if you can put your hand up. Oh, I see Alex Spencer's got his hand up, so I'm thinking y'all can hear me good. Amy, thank you so much. Andy Hoffman, thank you, thank you, thank you. Very excited to have you all this evening joining us with Ryan Wirch and Jim Ryan. I'm going to go ahead and put everyone on mute, and we'll get started here at the top of the hour. Thank you. Evening, so bear with me 1 second. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening on the Solavei update. We are so excited to be here with you today. We just literally got back from Dallas at our Solavei regional event, and it was phenomenal. The energy, passion, and excitement that our members are driving on a daily basis is just amazing. And thank you, everyone that was there. We appreciate you, and it was just an amazing time to get to know you all even better. Just inspires us to be with you every day and to be alongside you in this journey. So with that, I'm going to go ahead. We have a lot of information to cover today, and I'm going to go ahead and bring on our founder and CEO, Mr. Ryan Wirch.
Maria, thank you so much, and thank all of you for joining us tonight, Sunday night, March the 17th. And as Maria just said, we have just literally landed back here in Seattle, Washington from 2 great days there for our Solavei Revolution Regional, the very first one there in Dallas, Texas, with a packed house of Solavei members, excited and frankly rocking the house. And there's no question that when you experience what happened there and the excitement, it was an exclamation mark of the momentum that we have had across the United States over the course of the last 6 months since we launched Solavei to the marketplace. It was a time where we had powerful speakers. We had guest speakers that were there. John Gray with an amazing message of motivation and inspiration and how to take the very things that you have in your hands right now to impact not just your Solavei business and your Solavei experience, but also every aspect of your life. Great speaker in Steve Malou, who was able to really take down and break down all of the key things that's happening right now with Solavei as we are building a multi-billion-dollar brand across the United States and ultimately around the world, as he went through a lot of the key empirical data to share with our members how we have, in fact, taken advantage of this platform to move it into the international markets and the very things that we're doing to make the decisions that will ultimately impact positively all of our members, as well as the things that it takes to build a multi-billion-dollar brand and how that will take Solavei and our social commerce platform to new heights as we introduce new goods and services, and actually took us through each of the key goods and services that we have on our roadmap and that we have definitely in our line of sight in the coming months and years ahead. It was great hearing from our top members that were able to share not just the great things that's happened with them, but more importantly, taken the very things that they've learned and the things that helped them build tens of thousands of members in such a short period of time, and actually impart to each of the members that were there some of the key nuggets. In fact, I was getting emails today and seeing also some of the Facebook messages where our members left there with a renewed sense of this is their opportunity, not for a moment, not for a month, not for 3 months, but Solavei for them is for decades, that they're able to wrap their arms around it and ultimately see great success that will impact each area of their life. And our top members were able to impart that to our members that were there. The recognition that we're able to have and truly recognize those who are building Solavei across the United States, over 140,000 members now, and giving us an opportunity to recognize you, our top members. And that was one of the things that I take away from this past weekend as a highlight for myself, and I know that is shared by the others on the executive team, that being able to shake hands, being able to be able to hug the very ones that have truly impacted this business was an incredible thing. And you can't be in social today on Facebook or on Twitter and not get excited when you see the posts, when you see the pictures of all the excitement that took place this last weekend. It was great to be with all of our members. And so right now what I want to do is just touch on a couple of quick things. And I'm going to turn the call over. I have with me tonight here in the offices Jim Ryan, who's our head of product, is going to go through some of the new announcements around the compensation plan. Before we get to that, I want to go through a couple of things that we discussed this past weekend. You know, we have a key slogan in the company, which we talked about 2 months ago, which was March to 1 million members. And if you think about what we've done thus far, it is nothing short of amazing. Experts, some of the largest companies in technology and telecommunications have been astounded by how many people, how fast have come into Solavei, becoming one of the fastest growing MVNOs in history in such a short period of time, and growing by leaps and bounds every single day. But it shouldn't surprise any of us. The reality is there's 300 million mobile phone users in the United States. As you've all heard me talk about before, 1% is 3 million, 1/3 of 1% is 1 million. And so when you think about, is that March to 1 million members realistic? Well, the answer is, with the momentum we have right now, it's not only realistic, it's just going to happen. And that's the exciting part about where we are together today in this company. And I see not just 1 million, but I see tens of millions around the world, because we have put ourselves in a position with the very first social commerce platform moving into the marketplace, enabling individuals, enabling people, enabling our members to be the ones that actually benefit from the billions of dollars in advertising that's been spent to date, moving that to the greatest voice, and that's you, that's our members. And so as we've gotten to this point as a company, 6 months after we've launched, it's very important for us to now see that we are now positioned to go to the next stage of growth, 140,000 plus members to 1 million members. And as we look at this and what we've done with a social commerce platform is we've done something that hasn't been done before, because we've created ease within a system. And ultimately, when you think about life, or you think about things that have grown extremely quickly, it all happens because of simplicity. Many of you last summer, you saw how easy it was to share a video and get somebody interested in the Solavei. Over the course of the last 3 weeks, with the socials that's been taking place across the United States, the simplicity of being able to have somebody just watch a social, be a part of a social, and then be able to engage, and themselves the next day after they've enrolled to have someone do the same, is something that's simple. And what we've been doing as a company is looking at every single area that we can actually simplify to create more momentum. We have tremendous momentum at this point, but we know it's now time to take it to an entirely new level. And so simplification creates momentum. The second thing is momentum creates scale. And what I mean by scale is that's scale in almost every area of your business. That's scale for you as members and the size of your network. That's us in the scale and size of the network that we have as far as members. It's also in infrastructure and all those things to help propagate all the momentum that you have. It's also scale in revenues. It's scale in fundamental financials. It's scale in every aspect of your business to ultimately create success in everything that we do. That is our focus. We are focused not on a company being here for a year or 2 years. We're a company focused on being a multi-generational company, and a brand that when you look back a decade from now, you'll be able to say, I was there. I was there in that first 140,000 members. 10 years from now, when we have tens of millions of members throughout the world. And one of the key things that we saw over the course of the last 6 months is we have so many great assets in this company. We have so many things that we have done that has never been done before. And for us, it was now taking a true accounting of all of those things and be able to position them all for the next stage momentum that we have as a company. And that was some of the excitement that we had around this in Dallas, Texas this past weekend. And what I can say, and I know what we all felt when we walked away from there, is everyone got a snapshot of they are part of something much bigger than themselves, all of us. This is much bigger than any one of us in this company, because the momentum that has now been created as a company is going to impact millions of people's lives. And so to go over the next stage of this, Jim Ryan, our head of products, will take you through it. Jim.
Thank you, Ryan. Happy St. Patty's Day, everyone. I've celebrated many a St. Patty's Day, being a full-blooded Irishman myself. I think this is the first time I've done it on a webinar, so thank you very much for that, Ryan. Lots of exciting news here and lots of very important information for you guys to understand. So let me take you through kind of where we're at and where we're going. So first, it's important to kind of take a look here. You know, we've been literally next week, we're going to celebrate our 6-month anniversary of our commercially delivered product on September 21st. That's pretty exciting news. And one of the things that I've been really focused on really for the better part of this year is doing a full analysis of everything that we've done, everything we've been doing, everything we need to do better as we continue to evolve and scale this business. And first, let's talk about for a second the kind of things we've accomplished. We've done a lot as an organization, as a membership, as a group that we should all be very proud of. First, we've launched and proven a completely new model for peer-to-peer distribution and value exchange in social commerce. We have over 140,000 members that have put their hand up and that have come to say, hey, Solavei is interesting. I want to participate at some level since we launched. That is an amazing, amazing feat, and it's proven a lot of people wrong that thought that this might not be possible. We've built a solid base of membership that is informed and motivated. It is amazing to me, having come from the mobile industry, where it was always a challenge to try to get our retail reps trained, always a challenge trying to make sure that that they knew the latest product, that they understood how to get people onboarded, and how they understood how to configure phones, and it was always pretty impossible. Well, the reality is we have the best trained organization right now, probably on the planet, as it relates to what we do and how we do mobile, which is an amazing, amazing feat, and you should all be very proud of yourselves for what you've been able to accomplish in that area. The next is we've also done a lot in the way of delivery as it relates to the platforms and processes and partnerships, all the things necessary to support this rapidly growing social commerce business. And all of that was a lot of heavy lifting and a lot of work, and I think a lot of the biggest challenges are behind us now as we look at how we best and continue to scale this business over time. So let's also take a look here at what we've learned. We've learned a tremendous amount, and this is really a key inflection point for us as we try to really move to the next level of scale of this business. If we're going to go get to 1 million members and beyond, what are the kind of things we've learned, and how do we learn from that, and how do we advance from that? Well, we absolutely understand, and we've seen the critical factors associated with establishing viral growth, and the entry cost is probably the most critical, right? When you first go try to explain this type of service to someone, the concept of what it costs to get in to check this out is critical. And we realized that, and we realized some of the challenges when we first launched this product of the cost of entry of some of the elements that we were offering. We've also seen and accepted that, you know, trios are an amazingly powerful concept. Trios in collecting of 3 is an amazing thing to allow you to both bring together people, bring together friends and family, and then bring together value in a very important manner and in a very important set of assets. But the reality is it can also be challenging. The way trios are formed, the way they're structured, the way they're calculated, the level of visibility you have, or whether you have a trio and when you have a trio, has been a challenge. In addition to that, there's members that get lost in the network as people come in and out of the network, as people go and decide to opt out of the business, the people they brought in, what happens to those people? So we've accepted that there's some challenges in trios that we've got to deal with. We've also accepted that actually the way we've established rank structures really were too numerous and too close together. And a lot of things associated with how you calculate, administer rank have been a challenge. But really, we had people literally advancing through multiple ranks in very short periods of time. And that was really not what was intended. And then the last area, and probably in some ways the most important area here, is really what the only best way to describe it is a misalignment between compensation and the desired and intended behaviors of this business. You know, when we launched this 6 months ago, we really did not know exactly how the networks would grow, what people would focus on, how they would build their networks, and then therefore how compensation would evolve. And we went and consulted the best experts in the industry. We spent a lot of time analyzing the different possibilities of what would happen. And the practical reality is this business is growing faster, and networks are growing faster, and people are doing more, and they're doing it in very different ways than we expected, including, you know, we really presumed that a lot of people would be bringing in their friends and family, and therefore they would be growing their personal networks, and their personal networks would evolve over time. We kind of presumed in our compensation structure that that would happen, but we didn't necessarily require it to happen that way. We just thought that's the way it would happen. And when we originally talked, those folks who have been around since the beginning, we talked about going and getting 12 people, and then they getting 12 people, and growing these kind of wide, large, deep networks over time. Well, the practical reality is that folks could actually come into our organization and actually begin to earn compensation without even earning their first trio, without even bringing in 3 people. You could actually qualify and start earning path pay. And that was an unintended consequence. That is not what we intended in building the business, and quite frankly, I don't think is necessarily equitable as it relates to input and output, right? How someone gets value for the value that they contribute. So we really didn't have enough emphasis within the plan on personal effort, on that personal network, on you bringing in your friends and family and then helping them bring in their friends and family and growing that network in a very logical and consistent manner. So these are all things that we need to learn from, and then we need to evolve with. And that's really what we're focused on doing. First, really reducing that cost of entry barrier. You know, a lot of these steps that we've already taken. If you think back, we had a $49 enrollment fee. That was a pretty high barrier to entry and significant revenue and margin into the business that, quite frankly, we accepted that was not going to be the way to scale this business. So we removed that fee. When we started out, we had a $29 fee to buy a SIM card. We have now significantly reduced that fee. It's $9 if you buy a SIM card, but it's actually free if you get a SIM card that is a SIM in hand that someone hands to you, or if you get it as part of a GSM Nation phone that we're actually pre-configuring for our service. So significantly different as it relates to SIM cards and SIM costs there. And finally, now with our partnership with GSM Nation, we've actually significantly reduced the cost of new phones as well. They have phones as low as $125 now on their site, and they're continuing to scout around for great bargain phones that can be entry level for our customers. I think the other key thing for us, which was a big change from our initial launch, is this move to indirect distribution for our new handsets. You know, we started out in the business of selling phones, and that proved to be a very complex business for us to support and for our members to support. However, it was also a business that, you know, earned us quite a bit of revenue. So that was a big change to the business model as we looked at getting out of that business and really supporting that on an indirect basis with our partner like GSM Nation that we've started our relationship with. So some major changes to the business, but significant reductions in that entry cost to help us reach scale and real viral growth inflection. So, but then there are additional enhancements really that need to happen and that are coming as we move forward. And these are actually, I think, really good news in terms of simplicity and scale. First, trios. So, like I said, trios can be a great thing, but also a complex thing. So we're going to make them a lot simpler. First, we're going to make it easy to understand and to qualify. So when someone comes in, they enroll, they activate their phone, 15 days later after activation, they are now qualified to be part of a trio. And that's it. Just as long as they're active, they're qualified. If they go and they miss a payment on their prepaid phone and it goes a few days and then they pay again, as soon as they pay, they're active, they're qualified. Very simple, very straightforward, and also a lot faster in terms of when they get qualified versus the old way. We've also made it a lot easier to count your trios. Very simple. On your PC1 level, just look at how many people are actually active in your network, divide it by 3. On your PC2 network, look how many people are in your network, divide it by 3. It doesn't matter who they're attached to anymore. Just look at your PC2 network at that level and divide it by 3. Even when you talk about your total network, look at your total network and divide it by 3. And the only really qualifier there is that if you are in a situation where your network becomes imbalanced and you have more than 40% of your network that's being driven from only one leg or one PC1 of your network, then actually you'll only get to qualify up to 40% of those people, even when you actually look at your totals. But assuming that your network is logically structured and you have reasonable growth throughout each one of your legs, then every single person in your network will qualify, and you just divide it by 3. It's very simple, very logical. And kind of if you look at it as a set of pictures, here in the old world, right, you'd get your trio would be the 3 people connected to you. However, if you had a couple people that one guy had signed up, they wouldn't count for anything. If you had a couple people someone else had signed up, but that person decided to drop out, those people were stranded. Well, now the way it's going to work is that the PC1 people you count up, the PC2 people you count up, and then every one of those people counts. One of our key mottos, everybody counts. So now you'll be able to count all those people. And I think you'll see a lot of your productivity will get rewarded more quickly, rewarded more logically. And you'll be able to understand it more easily. And then even when you go to total network, much simpler logic, much simpler math. A lot easier for you to support it in terms of understanding what's happening in your business, and a lot easier for us to be able to explain it for new people coming into the business. This is very, very simple. And in terms of evolving from where we were, which is already a relatively simple plan, this is extremely simple. This is a 3-minute conversation with someone to explain compensation now, and you're done. It is just that easy. And that was our intent, to really start to scale this business. The other key changes that we're looking to make now as necessary is a couple of things that are important for us to be able to now actually adjust for the changes in revenue and margin that we've seen out there, adjust for the changes in how we're accounting for trios and how we think value now will get added up across these networks, and really prepare ourselves for the scale and the value exchange that will happen when you have millions of members within this network based upon what we've seen how these networks are growing. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're also going to go and change how we pay compensation. Very simply, at the end of every month, you take a snapshot of the activity in your network based on the way I just described it, and then on the 12th of the following month, you're going to get a paycheck. Simple, easy. This way you can go and train your people, you can train yourself, understand how you go and work to your month end, make sure you get people that are active and that they pay their bills so that they appear as active by the end of the month, and then that's what you get paid for. It's going to be very straightforward. Within 5 minutes of going into my Solavei, you should know exactly what's going on and move on with your day. You don't have to call customer care. You don't have to be confused. It is what it is, and it's simple. We're also going to simplify ranks. We're going to go from what has been a 15-level rank system down to a 6-level rank system. This way, every rank is truly valuable, truly appreciated, and easily understood. And I'll take you through some details on that in a moment. The last thing, we're putting some real focus back on personal activity, making sure that when you come into the business and you work in the business, those people who are really doing the work, who are going and talking about Solavei every day, who are sharing Solavei, who are bringing in new members, that they absolutely share in the bulk of the rewards of that we're benefiting here in value creation. One of the key changes to that is we're actually going to make it a requirement that you've got to get your first trio before you qualify in the commission plan. That no one's going to be able to earn any commission until you at least get that first trio. The second thing is we're increasing the personal network component of rank advancement, where previously you actually could just bring in a few folks and then start moving up the chain as it relates to rank advancement. We're now going to say, look, you should be doing a lot more work, and you should be rewarded and valued for the work that you do for those people who do that work. And you'll see that in the new rank structure as well that I'll take you through in a moment. So then there's the remaining pieces of how we kind of cover all this and adjust the way that value is exchanged across the business to make sure that we are healthy and prepared for the type of scale that we're talking about. So there's a couple of final things that are important here. One, starting as of midnight tomorrow, so that will be 12:01 a.m. on the 19th of this month, we are actually going to end the fast action bonus. So anyone who has a fast action bonus at this point in time will continue to have that. Anyone who signs up tomorrow will continue to have their FAB. But anyone beyond tomorrow that signs up will no longer have a fast action bonus as part of their compensation. What we found is that, quite frankly, it wasn't actually driving increased behavior like we thought. We found a better way now to account for trios where we can pay you more quickly for your trio bonus and your ongoing trio pay, which is really the value here in the annuity, and that the fast action bonus probably does more to confuse people than to add value and momentum into this business. So we're going to do away with it. The second thing we're going to do away with is the path paid bonus. Quite frankly, that was really just a double pay mechanism, which we thought would be something as an incentive to help get people to those levels. But quite frankly, it's just double paying you for the first month that you're in the plan, and we really just need to support the annuity value of that path structure. So that will be discontinued as well. We will make the last path payments, the path bonus payments, will be calculated based upon what happens at the end of this month, and the final payment will happen on the 12th of next month for path pay bonus. And the last area is in the area of trio pay, really to provide a distinction and an appreciation of the relevant and relative value of bringing in someone yourself and then helping and supporting someone else bringing in someone into the business. So we are absolutely going to be continuing our $20 pay for every 3 people you sign up into this business. It is the absolute core tenet and pillar of this business. Get 3 and it's free. That's not going anywhere. That is what this business is all about. So it's $20 for every 3 people you bring into this business, and will continue to be so. If you look then at the second level, though, at PC2, starting on April 16th, we are going to start compensating at PC2 level at $10. So it's $20 for your PC1s and $10 for your PC2s. But keep in mind, your PC2s now are calculated differently. So you should, at the end of the day, have more trios as a result of this new calculation at that level. They will just now be paid at $10 instead of $20 for each one of those. Okay, so now the last areas to discuss are the areas of what we're doing in PATH. So like I said, there's now down to 6 levels in PATH. And the first 2 levels really are a focus for when someone really comes into the business and passes the place where they've now gotten 3 trios and they're now getting their mobile service for free. Now what, right? So 3 and it's free when you first get in. Now what? Now I want to move up in the business. I want to make a little bit more money. I want to advance in this business and take it a little more serious. Well, the next level you go to is social partner. Social partner, you need to get 1 more personal trio yourself, a PC1 trio, and then you need to go get across your personal network a total of 10 trios. So you'll see for social partner and social thousandaire, it is only focused on your personal network. There's no need for total network. There's no need to focus on total network and to have visibility to that and to have confusion about that. There's no need to think about 40% rules. It's just your work and the work of the people you bring into the business. We've actually, if you look at it on a total basis, at the $250 level, we have, hold on one second here. Maria's touching my computer. Don't touch my computer, Maria. At the $250 level, that would actually, beforehand, that required 12 total trios. Now it's only 10 total trios, but it is within your personal network. At the thousandaire level, it used to be 20 total trios. Now it's only 18 total trios, but it is, again, within your personal network. And if you're out there and you're a thousandaire today, and you don't, as of yet, have 18 trios in your personal network, the way you got to look at this is really your efforts and the efforts of the people you bring into the business. You need to go and you need to get 15 people into this business. And those 15 people need to be able to produce enough for 18 trios in total, right? And that is a total amount. It's PC1 plus PC2. So it's 18 trios. And relatively speaking, because of the way we add these things up, right, you're talking about 45 people, right? No, 40, 18 times 3. 40. Help me out. I haven't slept in 3 weeks.
54.
54 people. Thank you very much for the math help. But it really is that many people, because you're not going to have breakage. You're not going to have separation. You're not going to have to worry about people getting stranded, right? And it's not 54. Is it? It's 54. Yes, it is 54. We are mathematicians have calculated. It's 54. It's 18 trios. Okay. Now, you move beyond that. Now you're into your leadership area. This is the point in time where you've now gone beyond thousandaire, and now you continue to advance in this business. Now, two key things I want you to focus on. One, we have increased the personal elements of these structures and these ranks. 2, we've increased the total network component. And there's really 2 ways to look at that. One, we absolutely do want to continue to reinforce the personal effort and value creation of members in this business and continuing to grow membership in this business. But look at this, it's still a pretty reasonable number. PC1 trios, you go from getting it for free, which is 3 trios, and then moving up through your first 2 ranks, and then you just got to continue to bring people into the business. Same thing as it relates to your PC1 and PC2. Just bring in people who are committed to the business, who intend to bring in people to the business, and you'll find that actually over time that's a pretty relatively simple portion of this plan. Now the last portion of the plan relates to the total network. And in the total network, you'll see these numbers have gone up. But again, keep in mind the way that we calculate trios has become much easier, and therefore you should actually have more in aggregate than you would have otherwise. Okay? Now, the last component to this is the 40% rule does apply in this area. And you should keep that in mind as you're building the business, that you should build it as uniformly as possible, because if you have one leg that grows much more significantly than the others, then you're going to have to then continue to complement that with other growth in the business. But assuming it's all fairly evenly grown, then everyone will count within even that total network level. Now, one final thing to take you through here, and then Ryan's going to tell you about this additional area of value creation that will happen at the leadership level, which I've got covered up here under bonus. But let me just kind of make sure that you understand kind of the timing of some of this stuff. So you will see here your final view of rank advancement based upon the old compensation plan, that on the end of this month here, you'll kind of look at your business and look at your network at that point, and that'll be your final rank that you'll get underneath the old plan. Then when we actually issue path pay and then also bonus pay, that'll happen on the 12th of April, then that'll be based upon that old rank and based upon final payment of those path bonuses. Then on May 12th, what'll happen is that you are going to get paid the same amount that you got paid on your last path pay that you got on April 12th, if your new earnings have not yet reached or exceeded those levels. So it makes sure that you have what amounts to the better part of 2 months here to go get yourself ready. Because when you look at this, that it'll really be until June 12th. So the end of your May productivity is the first time that we're going to look at the new network under the new compensation and pay you accordingly. So if you think about between now and then, you have effectively about 1/3 of the time that we have completely been in commercial business here to go, either whether you need to go get some more personal trios, you got to go build up a few extra trios in your personal network, or you got to go continue to grow the size and total scale of your total network. All of that is very much kind of within the realm of the kind of things you can be focused on and can go out and do. The key point here being that you're going to have some time to do that, and that we absolutely want to appreciate the value you've created already and the value you will create, and also appreciate that this is a new plan. So this is going to take some time for you to figure it out and then go focus on it. The good news being, and I think ultimately the key thing to keep in mind here, and then I'll hand it back to Ryan for the last portion of this new compensation plan, is that this is really about kind of looking beyond this and saying, look, when I now explain this to someone coming into the business, is this easier to explain? Which I think it absolutely is. When I go and try to manage my business every day and see what's going on in my business, to know where I'm at and to know what I need to do to succeed, is that easier for me to do? Absolutely it is. And therefore, if you believe that this business is going to continue to grow, if you see a vision for how we're going to get to 1 million members, then to be able to go and do what's necessary to continue to advance within this structure absolutely is within, with the realm of you being able to go accomplish it. And that's, I think, the key thing is just get your heads around where we're at and where we need to go, understand what the new plan is all about, and understand exactly what you need to do to go accomplish your own objectives and what you want to get out of this business, and then get to the work. And with that, I will hand it back over to Ryan.
Jim, thank you.
Oh, actually, you know what? Let me do this, because I added this. Let me explain this, because I realized when we took this to some people over the past few days, they were kind of like, well, where am I at? So let me go explain to you a couple things on how you go into our existing My Solavei structure and have a view of where you're at. Now, all this is going to change when we launch the new commission plan next month. You'll have a lot better visibility. It'll be simple and easy for you to go in and see where you're at. But looking even at the old structure, let me very quickly explain to you what you can do to say, so what does this mean for me today? If you go into My Solavei right now and you go into your network tab, you'll see at the top there your connectivity summary slide, the chart that sits at the top that shows you how many connections you have. Well, if you look at that, at your PC1 and PC2 and extended connections, that is a pretty good indicator. However, there's some pluses and minuses you need to factor into those numbers. First, that counts all the active members you've got, the service members and the social members that you've got. That's great, whether those are activated and those are TRIO eligible. It doesn't count the people who are not yet in. So it doesn't count those people who have not yet activated. So if they've got a red phone still sitting by their information when you go drill down in your personal network, they're not in there, and you'll have to figure whether they're in there or not, okay? And then the second thing is it doesn't count people who are well, actually, it does count those people. So what you're going to need to do, I'll take you through this. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to subtract some numbers to what you got. So you got your personal connections, and then you're going to have to subtract people who are not yet activated and subtract people who are social members without service. And let me show you what I mean by that. If you go into your personal network view, you'll see your red phones. Now, your red phones are those people who have not yet activated. Now, some of those people might just be in the process of activating. Other people might not activate, right? We've had some folks who were just, they came in, they enrolled, and for some reason they didn't activate. Well, you'll have to subtract that from your total number. So in this case, you've got 77 personal connections. Of those 77, a certain number of those connections are actually not activated. A certain number of those connections are social members without service. So in this instance, actually, you'd deduct the number here, and you'd end up with 71 personal connections, level 1, divide that by 3, and that would be your total trios here in this new structure. The same thing applies when you look at your PC2. And the way you get to your PC2 is you need to get, one, you start at your top level, which is the number that you see within your chart. And then you go within every one of your PC1s, you'll see these little lines here. And hopefully everyone knows this already, but in case you don't, this will be an epiphany moment for you. In everyone's detail, they see this thing that says PC1 equals. Well, what that shows is their PC1 connections. If you click on that, it opens up a window which shows you their PC1 connections. You just need to go in there and carry out the same exercise. Look and see who hasn't connected yet, who hasn't activated. Those are the red phones. Look at anyone who might be a social member without service, and you'll need to deduct those numbers from the total. Here you've got 22 connections, but when you go and deduct those numbers, you end up with a total now of 15 connections. Divide that by 3, and that's where you end up with your total amount. Now, when you get into your total network, it's the same logic. However, the content's a little different, especially for folks who have very large networks. We now have a view where we provide you a list view instead of those picture views, because we can get more content and see it more quickly. But you're going to look at the same things. You'll see one column, which is the mobile service activation line, and that will show you exactly whether someone is connected or not, whether they've activated the phone. Everyone who has an N, you're going to have to deduct that number. And there's actually, the great part is there's a sorting feature there that you can sort by everyone who's not yet activated. You need to deduct that from your total, or get on the phone and make sure those people get activated, right? But anyone who doesn't activate is not going to get ultimately qualified into TRIO, not under the old plan or the new plan, by the way. And the last part is anyone who's an SMO, so you want to take them off the number as well. But once you do that, provided that you don't have any issues with the 40% rule, which you can always check within your rank tab, then you can just take the number and divide it by 3. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you. It is pretty straightforward, and once you kind of look at this, and we're going to keep this recorded so you can look back on it, in the next few weeks you should be able to kind of look at where you're at and get focused on where you're going. And like I said, all this will be delivered in a new release of the My Solavei solution, which will give you better and more simpler access to all this information.
So what you're saying, Jim, is the new My Solavei, their network view, it's going to be extremely simple. How many people, how many active do I have on PC1? How many active do I have on PC2? Very easily to see how many trios then I have, because
Absolutely.
It's across.
And it'll actually be in the box right at the top, so you can just go in and you'll just see the summary, and that'll be what it'll be.
Yeah, and so your whole network then, it's the same thing. You're able to see how many active members I have in my network, one simple view, not having to think about what trios are broken, which ones are lost. You're able to see every member that you've got,
Yep.
who's active, and be able to divide by 3.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's great.
It'll be done for you. Cool.
That's great.
And that's all I got.
Jim, thank you so much. And all of you, thank you for staying with us here on the call. I know until we have the lines are packed tonight, there's so much I know that you're wanting to hear and get caught up. Many of you who have had members, had those who you're connected to within your own networks that were in Dallas. We've definitely been seeing the posts throughout the day of our members and their excitement from what happened at the event. But now what I want to do is transition to something that brings me great excitement, and then frankly it's something that I had hoped for from the very beginning of Solavei, from the moment that we founded the company. And what Jim just went through is all of the building blocks from a compensation perspective to actually move us into the next stage of growth. First of all, what I want to underscore of everything that's been done here, and there's no way in 10 minutes or 15 minutes and definitely just going through a series of slides when so many of you have spent 1, 2, 3, 4 months understanding the compensation plan. The reality is what we've now done is created a compensation plan, I would say enhanced the compensation plan, to build off of our premise. And since day one, since the very first presentation that I did last year, the very first video that was done, I said, we will always pay 50% of every dollar of gross profit. The reality is this network grew so fast and did so much more than any of the quote experts that's been a part of designing some of the largest multi-billion-dollar compensation plans for companies could have ever imagined. How many people who have come into Solavei and enrolled someone was literally 5 times the number in percentage that they originally had thought. And that's just because of the sheer nature of what we have. It's $49 a month unlimited, text, data, voice, 4G nationwide, no enrollment fee. And so the ease and lack of barrier of entry makes it easy for people to do that. And thus far, we've literally been paying out this last compensation run. We paid out 88% of gross profit through our compensation plan. Our commitment is to pay 50% of every dollar of gross profit. This is going to do that. More importantly, this is creating simplicity, where you don't have to try to figure out what do I have happening within my network. It's a divide by 3. It's transparent. What you're able to do now is actually have transparency into the plan and not wonder, why in the world do I have 2 or 10 or 20 people in my network that I'm not able to count because they happen to be inside of a quote broken trio. This was about taking breakage out of the plan, because I want our plan to have complete transparency, because each one of our members are our partners. Each one of our members is why we are every day growing Solavei to impact millions of people's lives. And for us, it's about being able to have a compensation plan that truly rewards all of the efforts that our members are putting in on a daily basis. Now, Jim only went through one part of this, and my career has been spent in technology and telecommunications industry. The last company that I founded, it was a company that we were able to grow, create over $1 billion in value. And I asked a question to our members in Dallas. I said, how many of you have been a part of a company like a Google or a Facebook or an Amazon or an eBay, a large company that, because you were an employee of that company and you had shares in that company, when that company went public or that company had such profitability that it paid a dividend, that you saw a tremendous return for yourself? What was interesting, with all of our members that were there, we had only 2 members. You saw the picture of how many members that we had there in Dallas. Only 2 people had ever been a part of that event. One of the members that actually raised their hand was somebody that happened to in my last company. He had been working as an accountant before he came to work for Matricity. Came to work for a salary, just like many of you do today with your jobs. That's what I call income. Every day you're working hard to be able to pay your bills, to take care of your monthly budget. But because he was a part of something much bigger than himself, and because he had shares inside of the last company, when Motricity, my last company, went public, he became a multimillionaire. And you know, I happen to live, all of us sitting here today in the offices, we live in a place which called, you know, many of it called the, you know, Microsoft millionaires. You know, where literally thousands of people, when Microsoft went public, engineers who were making $85,000, you know, assistants and a secretary who happened to have shares, changed their life forever because they happened to have shares in a company that was actually valued at an incredibly high value. And I know what we're creating here as a company is a company that's going to have tremendous success. When you think about, you know, just from a revenue standpoint as a company, as we grow from where we are today to 1 million members, that's a $600+ million revenue company. You know, we have, you know, to date, over $30 million to date has been invested in Solavei, because not just to invest it for it to sit there, but for it to actually create a tremendous return on investment. And all of us that are here in the corporate offices, you know, myself obviously as a founder and the executive team, all have, you know, great ownership in this company. And what we want to be able to see is it's not just about what we're doing, and it's not just about our members having on their efforts, their trio pay, their path pay, which is what I call income. We want to give those that are helping build the largest networks, those that are helping build this company, those that are helping actually impact the vision of impacting millions of people's lives, the opportunity to feel as we do every day as owners in this company. And so effective on May 1st, we are moving forward now to an equity program where our leading members will actually obtain value and share value in Solavei. Those that obtain the rank of Social Connector will receive 2,500 shares in Solavei. What I encourage you to do is get with one of the members that were attending in Dallas, or those who are listening tonight, I encourage you to be in Orlando. And we'll go through a lot of this in great detail at the Orlando Revolution Regional, where I went through in great detail value creation, what happens in the public market environment, what happens when companies create great share value. And you know, you can speak to some of those who in fact walked across the stage and received their share certificates when they walked across the stage, and what that meant to them. Because our members, when they are given shares in Solavei, are going to see, just like I do every day, a feeling of great return for the efforts you're putting in. And it's not just about what you do. By having shares in Solavei, you're actually getting the benefit of the overall growth of the whole. When somebody comes to Social Networker and obtains that rank, you receive another 5,000 shares, cumulative 7,500 shares. Social Director, 10,000 shares, a total of 17,500. Social Executive, 20,000 shares, a total of 37,500 shares for obtaining that rank. This is about creating a multi-generational company. And a company, as we continue to experience momentum that we already have, as we become one of the fastest growing, one of the largest companies that has ever been able to bring together value and ultimately profitability between people, the opportunity for our members to see great returns themselves. This all speaks to the incredible momentum we have already to date. When you step back and you just think, it was 6 months ago when we started. Today, with over 140,000 members across the United States, this is our next stage of growth. collectively over 140,000 people, all now moving to the new level of growth toward 1 million members. This is a company that we're all proud of. This is a company that is about impacting millions of people's lives. You are the ones that are actually making that happen on a daily basis. It all goes down to 3 simple things that we say every day. Get in, get social, and get free. Having a compensation plan that actually supports the simplicity of that, being able to build upon that first trio to that third trio of getting free mobile service. Over $6.5 million already paid to date. Over 10,000 people across the United States today seeing impact with that purple pay card. And today, looking at Facebook and how many people are paying for their food at restaurants. People this weekend using their purple pay card to check into the hotel where they were this weekend because of what Solavei has already done for them. A lot of this has been built over the last 3 weeks when we look at the momentum that's taken place around the socials. I've loved doing it every single night through the course of the week. And we had a flood of members saying, please don't stop. Please keep them going. So beginning this coming Tuesday night, Tuesdays and Thursdays through the month of March, we're going to be having 2 socials a night. And we have had just a flood that has come in since we announced this just this weekend from our members wanting to be one of the ones chosen in the live social for themselves. 4:30 and 6:30 p.m. Pacific. This is going to help those that are in the East Coast that would love to have a social at 7:30. Those that are on the West Coast, that 6:30 is a great time for them to start. 2 times, Tuesday night and Thursday night, beginning this week. And I'm excited to be a part of it and deliver the enthusiasm and the momentum that has taken place with Solavei. We have definitely positioned ourselves for growth, and the best is in front of us. And ultimately, it's a simplification of what we've created, the product, the service that we have, $49 a month unlimited, text, data, voice, 4G nationwide, a platform that enables our members to easily share it, a compensation plan that is built on transparency, divide by 3, and get paid for all that you're doing. We started with mobile, but that was just the beginning. This coming June, social commerce becomes a reality. And I'm extremely excited to be able to say that we have some of the greatest, some of the largest, some of the very best brands in the market in the United States that have said yes to wanting to be a part of Solavei and what we're doing with Solavei Retail. We unveiled a lot of partners this coming weekend, this past weekend at the Solavei Revolution Regional in Dallas. We will unveil even more at the Solavei Revolution Regional in Orlando, Florida on April 26th and 27th. I know I've seen a lot of the screen captures that people were posting from what we unveiled in Dallas, and there'll even be more in Orlando. And I look forward to all of you being there. It will be a packed house in Orlando, Florida. We already, people that were in Dallas, Texas that had said, you know, I wouldn't even have thought about going to Orlando because we were here. But after this, I'm now going to be in Orlando myself. We have people saying they're actually from Texas going to be getting carfuls and busfuls of people over to Florida to be able to be at that event. It is going to be exciting, and I know some that actually came from Florida that were there at the Dallas Revolution Regional said they are going to themselves pack the house. There'll be so much that we're going to share in Orlando. I look forward to being able to deliver all of that along with the executive team and our top members with everyone who is there and go through a lot of this in great detail when we're all together here in a couple weeks. This is all about the next stage of growth. This is all about a march to 1 million. And to Jim's point earlier, it's only 6 months that we've been even in existence as a company since we've gone live. In the course of the next 2 months is great opportunity for everyone that's a part of Solavei to be able to realize your full potential within the compensation plan that we have. Another thing we have done on top of this is we announced yesterday that we have additional qualifications that we've made available to all of our current thousandaires, our current social directors, our social networkers, our social executives, to be able to qualify for the Hawaii trip and for the cruise to Thousandaire. It's going to be a great time together. That'll actually be posted tomorrow. You'll be able to see this in my Solavei. Tomorrow you'll be able to see how you can qualify for the cruise to Thousandaire yourself. If you are a social connector 3 or social Thousandaire, a social connector, social networker, social director, and social executive. It's going to be a great time together. We've in fact had the cruise line get hundreds more rooms because we know how many more of our members are going to be on the cruise with us. It's going to be a great time. I thank all of you for being a part of this tonight. I look forward to what we have in front of us. We together are impacting millions of people's lives. It's just the beginning. 5 billion mobile phone users in the world, 300 million here in the United States. We have 140,000 today. 1 million is our next mile marker, and I look forward to doing it with you. God bless and have a great week. We'll see you on Tuesday night at the Solavei Social.
To tonight's Solavei News. My name is Stacy Wallace, and it is my honor to be your hostess for the evening. Solavei News is about giving you the official updates, releases, and also proven strategies to support your Solavei network. Now tonight, I know you are as excited as I am about all of the updates that have been going on over the last 48 hours. You've seen it hit the social graph, Facebook, Twitter. We're all so excited about what's going on, and I know tonight we are going to give you a lot of updates. What I would like to do right now is introduce you to you before we actually get into the updates is a very good friend of mine, somebody who is a dynamic leader in Solavei, and who's going to share us what is Solavei. For all of you who are just listening in for the very first time tonight, you want to hear what is all the buzz about. I mean, literally, we blew up the social graph this weekend to where we were on the hot lists of all the Facebook, all the trending. We were trending on Facebook, Twitter. It was incredible, and that's a big deal. So we're very excited, and thank you to all the Solavei members who are making that happen. Well, tonight, to tell you what is Solavei and why are we so excited, I want to introduce you to my dear friend Nathan Gooden, social networker 2, a phenomenal leader. You guys have heard me say it before. Former bride was former Miss America. Nathan, of course, COO, CFO, comes from corporate America, but now we are very excited to have him over here on the light side where all the bright sunshine is, in the field working with the social networker 2. Please help me welcome Nathan Gooden to share with us what is Solavei.
Thank you very much, Stacey, and I'm very excited to be a part of the call. And as Stacey said, I did just leave corporate America, and Solavei is the reason. Solavei has created an opportunity for so many to be able to change their lives. Solavei's mission is to make commerce less expensive and even profitable. And how are we doing that? We're doing that by taking the billions of dollars of advertising that are spent every day by huge conglomerate companies and paying the most powerful member or marketer on the planet, and that is you and I. We have taken those dollars and made commerce less expensive and paying our members to do so. So whether you're spending money at the grocery store, whether you're going to fill up your car with gas, buy clothes, go to Walmart, wherever you're already spending money today, if you're a Solavei member, we're going to make sure that you're getting it for less, and then as you share it with other people, you have the opportunity to make income. We have started with mobile service, so we are paying you. We're starting with mobile service so that we offer a plan for $49, unlimited text, data, and voice. And as I said, as you share it with other people, you just share it with 3 people, a trio, and it becomes $29. And then as you share it with other people, you have the opportunity to make a nice recurring monthly income. But what Solavei has done that has made it even better for us is they have spent over $30 million building an infrastructure that gives us the tools to grow our business. So literally you can start growing a business with no startup cost. Nowhere in the world can you do this. And they have integrated the tool that they created to not only manage your business, invite friends, and monitor and grow your business, but you can also interact with all of the social media sites. So whether you use Facebook, Twitter, Google+, it's all interacted with the tool that they've created. So Solavei is much bigger than just a mobile phone service. Sometimes you hear people say that Solavei is a $49 unlimited text, data, and voice plan. It certainly is, but that's only where we're starting. And in Q2, we're going to launch into goods and services and open up retail. We got to see some of those partners that we're going to launch into in Q2, and then we're going to expand into international. So as it sweeps across the United States, in just 6 months, we have over 140,000 members. We've paid out over $6.5 million to our members. It is one of the most dynamic, exciting companies that I personally have ever been a part of. And as we expand into the other areas that you're spending money on a daily basis, it's even going to get better. Thank you, Stacey. That's a quick overview of what Solavei is all about.
It is a quick overview, and Nathan, what I love about the Solavei News every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific is not only are we giving it to you real, live, raw, relevant, official information, pulling it straight from the corporate information that's available to us, but we're also wanting to break it down. And so I'm appreciating some of the questions that are coming through right now, and I just want you guys to know I'm watching those. Marcy wants to know, what does it mean to trend on Facebook and Twitter? It means actually that we are showing up so much that they're talking about it. It means that we are a hot topic in Facebook or in Twitter. That's a really good thing. So I hope that's as layman as I could possibly make it. Somebody wants to know, what is Q2? That's second quarter. January, February, and March is the first quarter. April, May, and June is the second quarter. So if you think about the
so you can see,
year,
I was going to say, you can see I haven't transitioned fully from corporate America to this world.
No, and what's great about it, those are corporate terms, but when we break it down, you know, it's great for you guys who are just now starting your own business. And this, again, we're not looking to build a corporation that's a few $100 million. We're looking to build a multi-billion-dollar industry and a company so that people like you and I, who don't know what Q2 is, we don't know what trending is, we don't know what analytics and empirical data really mean, but we can learn and we can cash in on the benefits. And tonight, you are going to hear how those two worlds are uniting more than ever. And I cannot tell you, especially watching these questions, in fact, it chokes me up a little bit to know that we are about to tell you something tonight that's going to give those of you who don't know what that stuff means, you're going to get a shot at something really big in your life, a chance to be a part of corporate America's big apple pie. And so stay with us tonight, because I think you're going to enjoy what you hear all the way through to the very last slide of tonight's webinar. Well, that brings us to, and I hope, Nathan, that you will just stay on with me. We'll tag this back and forth. But the Solavei Revolution regional event this weekend happened last weekend. It was huge. It was incredible. And I want to take you through some of the highlights that happened this weekend. Nathan, let me just ask you before we go into this, what was some of the highlights, or what were some of the highlights for you that happened this weekend?
So, and Stacey, I'm I come from a different background, so this is really the first opportunity that I've ever been at an event like this in this industry. And so for me, personally, it was unbelievable to see the excitement that is so infiltrated with so many people. You know, we interact with our top leaders and people in our network on a daily basis, but we don't get to see the network at large. And that was one of the key takeaways for me, is that this is not just a few people that are excited about selling mobile phone service. This is something that is revolutionizing the way that we do commerce. And people are seeing that at a much larger basis. And so to see that, and then to experience the news that I know you're going to share, so I won't unveil yet, that our CEO gave to all of us, and really to get to see the heart of our CEO. A lot of us have known Ryan Ward, our CEO and founder, but really we got the the hands-on with him to see, just how much he cares about this company, about every member, and about making this a long-lasting company that is going to be around for a long time, that is going to bless so many lives and help so many people that may not have ever had an opportunity like this before become a reality.
That's right, and tonight we are going to tell you a little bit more about that. I know we've got a number of folks this weekend who had their life completely changed and left feeling larger than life and feeling like for maybe once in a lifetime, certainly the first time in most of their lives, they're being given a chance to be a part on a large level of something truly revolutionary. What I'd like to do now is just take you through a couple of the updates. Of course, like Nathan said, the Social Commerce Network is coming to life right before our eyes. This weekend, a number of partners were introduced that are coming on board with Solavei's retail program, and those are going to be added by the hundreds to where we're going to be able to see folks that are actually going to be a part of that retail program. I encourage you, get with the person that got you on this webinar to tell you a little bit more details, and just watch coming out what's going to be available with that. I believe coming up very soon we're going to see a screen filled up with who those partners are, and as we go out with our purple pay cards and shop every day, we're going to be able to see how they're the discounts along with the revenues that are going to go back into the social network, of which 50 cents on every dollar has been committed by our CEO and founder that's going to go back into the network. It's going to be an incredible, revolutionary experience. Remember, cell phones are not revolutionary. SIM cards are not revolutionary. What's the revolutionary part is the people, everyday people like you and I, getting a piece of the pie, getting a piece of the action, instead of the advertisers getting all of that money. Again, another announcement that was made is that the Solavei socials were so extraordinarily successful that Ryan Wirch, our CEO and founder, has agreed to continue them on. They're going to happen every Tuesday and Thursday at 4:30 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. Pacific. Now, if you want to host a hangout and you want the CEO and founder Ryan Wirch to actually be a part of your hangout there in your local area, he will tap in via satellite, be able to see into the room where you have all your friends. Then you want to go to Solavei Socials at solavei.com, and that is going to give you, that's the email you want to go to and say, hey, pick me. I want to host a hangout with Ryan. If you want to watch socials, which I encourage you to do every Tuesday and Thursday, gather people in your home, get them together 4:30 and 6:30 p.m. Pacific. Watch it at socials.solavei.com, and then follow along in Twitter. You'll see the updates, people posting, and be able to really get along with a lot of other folks in that network as well. You can dial 559-726-1200, enter code 559055#. I'm going through great links to read these slides tonight because I've been advised that we have a number of folks that are tapping along with these webinars that are blind, and I want to make sure, I want you to know I know you're there. I honor you, I respect you, and thank you for letting me know that you want me to read these slides out for you, because again, we are so thankful that you are a part of Solavei. Oh my goodness, I'm emotional tonight. We're glad that you're here. We're glad that we can give you something that you can believe in and that you can take to your friends and family. It makes us very proud that you're here.
Stacey,
okay.
I do want to say one thing on the socials.
Yeah.
A lot of people are wondering how to grow your networks, and this is one of the easiest avenues for people to quickly grow their networks, is to plug your teams in, have people over the house and play this during those times, or play a replay of it if you can't make those times. If you do want to be a part of the hangout, they are filling up so fast. I emailed today, and the spot that I wanted was already filled. So it's important, if you want to participate in these, to make sure that you're getting in early. Otherwise, they do fill up.
Excellent. Very good. Great point. Okay, so y'all saw a sneak peek of the next slide, so let's just go ahead and go there. New compensation plan updates, and as Nathan said earlier on, one of the things that I personally love about the executive team of Solavei, many of you know that I was senior vice president of another 22-year-old corporation prior to Solavei, and I've been in this industry for 25 years called direct sales. I've seen a lot of things in this industry, but I have never seen what we saw this weekend of an extension of complete generosity and partnership by our Solavei executive team. And of course, we've been watching over the last few months as they have watched this very infant company be birthed just 6 months ago, and watching how that compensation plan rolls out. Where is it soft spots? Where is it sweet spots? Where is it great, and where can it be better? What I love about the company is they're constantly adjusting enough to make sure that we have what we need in the field to move forward with massive momentum. So let's just do a little recap of a few of the enhancements that have already been made to help us drive scale. And what that means is to drive into large numbers, and that's in order to become, that march to 1 million, or to become a multi-billion-dollar company that is paying out $1 billion into the hands of its members. Driving that kind of scale and reducing the barrier and cost of entry. What does that mean? Making it easier for people to get in, making it less hassle, less money. I mean, how much more could the company possibly do? They removed the $49 enrollment fee. Like Nathan said, where can you go to build a business of your own where you can earn a few extra hundred, few thousand, or even tens of thousands of dollars a month? What company can you go to that has zero enrollment fee? In other words, all you do is show up and do what you already do, use your cell phone on Solavei service, and probably, if you're like the 48% of people who are already overspending they spend over $100 a month on their cell phone, even more than that spend over $49, Solavei is actually saving money. It is a win-win-win proposition for you to get involved with Solavei. So they removed the $49 enrollment fee, and they reduced the SIM fee by $20. So it went down from $29 to $9 and made it free with SIM in hand, or if you're buying GSM Nation phone. So again, those are big enhancements that were already made. If that wasn't enough, Solavei went ahead and took it to a whole nother level this weekend. Before the regional, I had a dream one night, and I woke up from the dream, and when I woke up, the word that was first on my mind, this is just a couple of days before announcements were made, and the word was simplify. Simplify. Simplify your life, simplify your finances, simplify your overhead, simplify, and it just all these different things. While I was getting ready, I kept thinking of simplify. And then if we didn't show up at the regional event and Solavei make that its #1 mission as it relates to the compensation plan, they got on stage and they said, we want to simplify things. And I got to tell you, as Solavei's first social executive in the company, I am very, very happy about this, because there were some things in the compensation plan that, having over 40,000 people that have joined the network, I've gotten to see some of those weak spots that I feel were a part of the compensation plan. One of them was it was very difficult for us to understand how to read our network, how to know when a trio was formed, how to know how to calculate what we were going to get paid, what our rank would be, how many trios we actually had in our network. And when they said that word, I have to tell you, I was like a kid in the candy store when they presented these changes to me. Here is what was released to us this weekend. They said, we are simplifying trio counting. Maturing now, instead of the maturing process that we knew of being 30 days and 60 days to actual being counted, now maturing takes place 15 days after activation. After that, as long as a service member is active at the end of each month, they will be qualified. For those of you who are new, you may not know what this means, but this is very, very, very big and good news. It means that people are actually going to be qualified when we see they're qualified at the end of the month. It means that we're not going to have to get them in the system and then wait for 30 days or more. After 15 days of activation, as long as a service member is active at the end of the month, they will be qualified and counted in your network trios. There's also a simpler way to count trios. Prior to this weekend and to this announcement being made, trios were based upon forming trios and qualified trios, and if a trio was formed and if it had qualified. And I'll just tell you, give you guys a little inside scoop of the tens of thousands of people I had in my network. I only had about 5,000 trios in one of my numbers. Now that was concerning to me, because that said to me, wait a minute, where is all the other? That's, if you go 5,000 times 3, that's 15,000 people. Well, what about the others that make up my over 40,000 people that are actually in my network? What that told me was there was way too much breakage in this plan, and that the company was going to need to do something in order to rectify the breakage and make it more simple for us as leaders to be able to count our trios. If we have 50,000 people in our network, we want to be able to get benefit from 50,000 people in our network. And I can tell you, for those of you who are early on in Solavei right now, you have the potential to have networks like mine. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy for you, because I certainly burn the midnight oil. I work probably about 18 hours a day. But what I am going to tell you is it's possible. And I don't know of any other plan or company in the history of this nation that has given us what you're getting ready to hear tonight, kind of opportunity to be a part of a global revolution. So the simpler way to count trios now is simply divide by 3. Go to your PC1, your personal connections, your first direct enrollments, and divide by 3. And that's how many trios you have in your PC1. So if you have 9 people that you've personally enrolled, divide by 3, that's 3 trios. If you have 10 people, divide by 3, that's 3 point, so it's 3 trios. 3 point something is still 3 trios. Go to your PC2, your second tier, your PC2, divide by 3. If you have 18 people, divide by 3, that's 6 trios. Go to your overall network then, divide by 3. Can somebody say amen? So go to your overall network now. You're not going to have to look and see where are these people forming. Sally has 2 and Jim has 1. That before was not a trio, even though they were in the same, let's say, same tier, same level. Now it's just divide by 3. And that, for you, even if you don't understand this, is very, very, very good news. Another great simplification. Yes, Nathan.
Yeah, one of the things, and this is a huge deal for the company to do, because this does eliminate all breakage. So from a company perspective, this is not the most positive thing to do, because it takes away any excess that they would have. So they are paying out more. If you look at your network and you look at all of the one-aways, lots of people have lots of one-aways. Those are trios or people that weren't even counted in trios. So everyone should see a increase in their number of trios. So a huge thing for the company here to do for the field, and especially as you look at rank and path pay to go up in rank, this gives you a lot more trios. And so one of the things that I would encourage everyone to do is you look at your network and you're looking at the total number, as Stacy said, active members. You're going to look into your network and you're going to see that there are a lot of people actually suspended. You want to contact everyone that is suspended in your account, both in your network and your members' network. Encourage them to do so as well, because that is going to cause your overall trio number to go up once they get out from being once they become unsuspended and are active members.
Yes, and Nathan, I think that's a great point. You guys are going to see that if I were you, I would be thinking, okay, well, how is the company going to do this? I'm going to show you some adjustments that the company has made in order to make this incredible give to us called no breakage. And there are some adjustments that have been made in order to make this happen so that we can have a simpler, more effective, really transparent comp plan moving forward. I'm hearing on the line that there's a few people that are not seeing my screen. Nathan, are you in front of your webinar? Can you see my screen? Okay, excellent. For those of you who are saying, I see 2 people that have said that, you might want to go in and re-log in, because it seems like it's working just fine. So another thing is there's no 40% rule now until you rise above the rank of social thousandaire. You're going to hear that's a new term I'm going to explain here in just a minute. But that's good news for those people who are just building their network. The 40% rule will not apply until you go above the rank of social thousandaire. Another bit of very, very good news. So how do I get to become a social thousandaire? Here is some of the updates and the adjustments that are being made. First off, social partner, you've got to have at least a trio to even play into the rank path of Solavei. Prior to now, if you got one person, literally you could get one person and ride the back of that one person, never do anything, and the company on a monthly basis was paying out thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to people who just got in, introduced it to somebody who took off, and honestly, they're not even brand builders. They're not brand partners. They're not doing anything to support Solavei and you and my revolution. They just came in and then they sat back, but they're still getting paid. Solavei wants to support brand partners. Solavei wants to support people who are supporting the brand. In order for this brand to do what we want it to do, our march to 1 million, and for it to hit that, what we call the tipping point. If you haven't read that book, I double dog dare you to read the book Tipping Point. When a company moves from the time where you're pushing it uphill to get brand awareness to when it becomes massively marketed. In other words, it becomes mass market appeal. That's the tipping point. In other words, it takes over. Now it's on a snowball effect. Well, in order for that to happen, it's going to require brand partners like you and I continually sharing the brand, keeping it viral, going online, posting, tweeting, doing what we do. This is not Ryan Wirch's company. In a minute, you're going to see how this is our revolution. We really are Solavei. It is our business to make viral and to cross that tipping point. So social partner, basically, that's going to be a monthly pay of $250 every month, and all you have to do is get 4 trios. Those 4 trios basically equals 12 people that you personally bring into Solavei, and have 10 total trios in your PC1 and PC2. Another way to look at this is you need 10 personal network trios in your first and second tier, of which 4 of those 10 need to have been brought in personally by you. So it's a total of 10, 4 of which must have been brought in personally by you in your PC1. So you don't need 4 plus 10, it's 10 total, and 4 of those 10 need to be PC1. Now, to become a social thousand, Nathan, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to. It's very important to know too. If you're hearing this for the first time, these are just the plan changes. So, as we go through the monthly pathway here, that is in addition to what's called Trio Pay. So, I'd encourage everyone, if you have not seen the compensation webinar, to make sure that you're watching that, because a confusing thing I think for some people is that they think that this is now eliminating Trio Pay. Trio Pay has not changed in the essence that we're still paying Trio Pay on both your PC1s and your PC2s. Stacey, are you going to go through the change on PC2s, or are you going to mention that here?
You can go ahead and do that.
Okay, so the only change on the Trio Pay, we still do pay $20 for every trio that's in your PC1. So those people that are 1 degree of separation from you. Those people that are 2 degrees of separation from you, the PC2s, we are now paying $10 per trio. Now, you may think that that will actually decrease your monthly income for Trio Pay, but the way that we count trios now, that you're able to take all of your PC2s and divide by 3, you may see that number actually go up, because you may have had someone that was in your PC1 that left and had signed up 2 people, for example, and those 2 people under the old compensation plan would never be counted in a trio, and now they are counted in a trio. So don't get discouraged that your compensation may go down, but because of that, the ability to count everyone in PC2 for a trio may cause that to go up. So $20 for PC1 trios and $10 for PC2 trios. Thanks.
That's right, Nathan. And if you guys will just take a look here real quick, I wanted to give you reference that all of the changes, updates that we're talking about, you can actually go to empoweredliving.biz, and right there on the homepage, you're going to see that you can click on Compensation Plan Overview, and you'll be able to see this full PDF, which I've got here on my screen, where it shows the full compensation plan one sheet. You're going to be able to take a look at that. Now, what I want to do real quick is just what Nathan described. You can take a look right here. This is a trio. For those of you who are new, it's when you introduce it. You or anyone in your network can do this. Introduces it to 3 people. That is a trio. And so your personal PC1 are people that you introduce to Solavei personally. So if you introduce these 3 and these 3, those are your PC1. Now, when they go out and they introduce it to people, that would be considered your PC2. And then, of course, when they go out, considered your extended network. That's everyone else. The exciting news is you're going to earn $20 a month for every trio in your PC1 level. So this would be 20, 20, 20, 20. And you're also going to earn $10 a month in every trio in your PC2. So even though you didn't do it, you're going to still get $10 every single month for every trio in your PC2. Again, Nathan just mentioned that it at one time was 20 and 20, and in order to make adjustment for the incredible changes that Solavei is making for us, and understandably so, you didn't actually bring those people in, so giving the equivalent value is not necessarily fair, but certainly you deserve, because you are probably going to work with those people as well, to get the $10. You're going to get $20 for every trio in your PC1, $10 for everyone in your PC2, and here's where it gets real exciting, you guys. If you remember, I just mentioned that it is divide by 3. So there was a time when I could literally have 9 people in my personal network, which was my PC1 and PC2. I could have 9 people. Like, let's say I had, instead of 3 here, I had Billy Bob that went and got 2, and Sally that went and got 1, and Jim that got 1, and let's say Jack over here got 2. I could have a whole lot of people, but it not form trios because of that rule. Well, now with 0 breakage, every one of those, it's just divide by 3. So whatever your PC1 is, divide by 3. Whatever your PC2 is, divide by 3. Whatever your overall network is, divide by 3. And that's going to be real important as we move forward into the rest of this compensation plan. So that leads us to Thousandaire. Social Thousandaire basically is when you're going to be earning $1,000 a month, and you need to have 18 trios combined in your PC1 and PC2. Now I know you guys, it used to be 20, but it used to be 20 in your overall network. Now it is in your PC1 and PC2, of which 5 of those need to be in your personal direct enrollment, so your PC1. Okay, so you're going to need to go out, and this is what's great about our cruise to Thousandaire. You're going to want to go out and get 15 people. And you know what? Personally, from day 1, I've trained to get 12 people, to get 12 people, to get 12. I'm just encouraging them now to get 15 who get 15. You may say, well, Stacy, you're in an industry where most people never even get 3 people. Well, to believe it or not, we're not in that industry, and we've completely broken those records. In fact, the percentages of how many people actually bring in a trio or actually bring in more than a trio, it is astronomical what's happening in Solavei, which is one of the reasons why we're making these adjustments, because we're seeing the viral effect that people who have a hard time getting someone into a lotion and potion pill where they have to pay a $500 upfront getting started kit fee, and they're having to pay an auto ship of $100 to $200 a month. Yeah, that's tough. But you bring someone in for no enrollment, help them save money on their cell phone that they're already overpaying on, and show them how they can earn money, the numbers change. And so we're very excited about these updates and these changes, and we are excited because we're seeing people do it every single day. Well, that leads us into our what we call our leadership ranks. Before we do that, let me just tell you, the path to becoming a Solavei leader is not only exciting, it's not only achievable, but now it's become life-changing for many. Let's take a look at the Solavei rank band. Let's look at social connector, and you'll notice that we had our social partner. Let me go back up. Social Thousandaire. That Social Thousandaire is a new title. You've never heard that before, because we love that name Thousandaire, and we want to call our people Thousandaires when we reach it. Then when you actually jump up and you're able to go from 5 personal trios, just add 1 more. And look here, you are at 18. Just add, 7 more in your PC1 and PC2. And now it's going to be important for you to be developing a network. You're going to make $2,500 a month, and you're going to begin to see something very beautiful take place I'm going to tell you about in a minute. Now, what's happening here, and you can see the personal volume that you have to do is not that much. You're talking about an extra 3 trios to jump up to this ring band, extra 2 here. And remember, in each of these, it's divide by 3. So it's no longer, for me, getting to those network trios, what used to be 2,000 trios, it took me a long time to do it, even though I had 20, 30, 40,000 people in my network because there were so many broken trios. Now, it's just divide by 3. And I can just tell you guys from the experience of having run this entire compensation plan, this is such good news for you, especially when you get into the upper ranks. You are going to love, love, love this compensation plan. So as you can see, Social Network jumps up to $5,000 a month, then $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month at Social Executive. And you can see here, every Social Executive, it's going to be 36 people. So just divide by 3, qualified people who are active on socials on Solavei service, and then 40 in your PC1 and PC2 with total network trios of 6,000. Again, let me bounce back to remind you of the tens of thousands of people I had in my network that I was not even getting credit for because they weren't entering into a trio. They were a part of somebody who just got 1 or somebody who just got 2. I had so many, actually thousands of one-aways. And now, you guys, if you can only, and I know some of you are just getting started, you don't feel the impact of this, but one day you will as you continue to grow. The divide by 3 is such an incredible gift of the company. I can just tell you it is going to help us not only with sustainability of the company, but it is truly going to help us move faster with greater transparency in our networks. Nathan, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, the only thing I would say is the webinar that Ryan and Jim Ryan did last night will be released in later tonight in probably about an hour or 2. It's important to watch that if you did not watch that last night, because to hear directly from our CEO and founder and Jim Ryan of going to the reasons why for these changes. Stacy and I can tell you our thoughts on the reasons why things were changed, but to hear directly from our CEO and Jim Ryan what went through corporate in order to make these changes, which are very healthy for the company, for creating a long-term company, and for the field as well. So I think that it's just very important when that comes out for everyone to listen to it. And if you listened to it last night, I would encourage you to re-listen to it again.
Yeah, and I have at the end of the webinar, I'm going to give a full presentation on that, where they can find that, how they're going to be able to access that. Tonight, we are doing a review of the highlights of that information. And certainly, as we are all awaiting, I know that last night's webinar was re-recorded today so that they could add additional information based on the responses that they received from last night. Questions, just like Marcy a minute ago, what is trending? What is Q2 from someone else? Making it very real and relevant so that you can all understand it. So if you listened to last night, fantastic, great. I know some of you screenshotted it. I want to encourage you, discard it when you get this new information, because it's the information you're going to want to use, because it has been screened, it has gone through so that the company can make it very, very understandable for each of our members. And we're going to give you that information tonight at the end of the webinar. So let's just move on as we go through income versus wealth. Now, this was a slide I know many of you screenshotted last night, and some of the questions have been asked. And Nathan, I'm going to let you go through this, because one of the questions people asked, and I got hundreds of emails today of people saying, Stacy, what does the X mean? Stacy, what does, great questions. What does trending mean? What is Q2? These kind of questions that we like to believe people understand. Tonight, let's break it down for them. That way, when they re-listen to Ryan Wirtz, our CEO and founder, and Jim Ryan go through this presentation, hopefully they'll have an understanding and clarity on exactly the value of what's being provided for them. Now, in addition to all of these updates that have been made, Ryan stepped up to the plate. The first night that we were there, it was the top. It was Jose Miranda, Roxana Hanna, James Linhart, and myself that were at the table. And this is where we discussed with the social directors and the social executives what was about to happen to all of the people and what they were about to hear in that regional. And when we heard it, of course, we were so excited because we realized that Ryan and Jim, Maria, Larry, the corporate executives that work for us every day, they don't want us just to be members out here that are building the business. Now, there are some companies out there that you actually build their network, or one of them is called Facebook. Facebook has built over 1 billion members. 1 billion members. They built that network. They built Zuckerberg's income. Billions of dollars the guy makes. And I know you guys all probably celebrate him. We think he's an icon. But do you think it's really fair that the people do the work and a few at the top of the company make the money? Well, our CEO and founder has been a part of that type of corporate development for many, many years, where he builds major corporate profits, yielding high dividends for the investors and for the executives. But the people of Facebook, they don't make any money. Ryan wanted to change that. Ryan wanted this to be a place where not only the income is available, meaning our path pay, our trio pay, but Ryan also wanted to see something take place where we could share in the wealth of Solavei. Can you imagine, those of you who are on Facebook, if you were actually not only getting paid for every member that joined your Facebook page, but what if one day Zuckerberg stepped up to the plate and said, for those of you who have helped us build the biggest networks, I'm going to share in profits with you. Watch this. Nathan, take us through this slide in how we are talking about now going from, as Ryan said, a renter's mentality to an owner's mentality. You know, in direct sales, and I've made a lot of money in direct sales over the last 25 years, we think about our paycheck, we think about our income, we think about what we make on a monthly basis. We may get a share in some kind of little profit sharing pool. It's just really a play on words, to be honest with you, but it's never really been anything that we can bank wealth upon. Tell us what was shared this weekend as it relates to income versus wealth.
Yeah, this is one of the most exciting things, as Stacy said in opening this call, at her emotion of what is being available to every member as we lead this company and become leaders in the company. The difference between income versus wealth, I think, is one of the most amazing things that people get an opportunity to actually build a substantial wealth for themselves and their families to come. And, you know, Ryan asked in the Thousandaire and Above meeting of all of those people that have had an opportunity where they've been a part of a company that, you know, went public and made significant wealth for themselves, and only 2 people raised their hand. And I think that is what shows the heart of Solavei, that they're now giving every member, every person that's a part of this company, the ability to create wealth. And what does that mean? You look at this, and there's this 1.6x, 2.5x, 7.0x, and 14.0x, and what that means is simply this. The way companies are valued in the public market is they're generally a multiple of revenue. So if you look at AT&T and this says 1.6x, that means that their enterprise value, or the value that the company is worth in the public market, is 1.6 times their annual revenue number. So, for example, if they have, if they do 100 million, if a company does 100 million in revenue and their multiple is 1.6x, they're worth 160 million. You translate that into individual value by taking the number of shares that are outstanding, and you can look at, you know, any public company, go on yahoo.com finance section, look at the total value of the company, the shares outstanding, divide that into the enterprise value, and that's what your per share value is. So, you know, when Facebook went public, which was a huge deal, all of us are on Facebook, and as Ryan did a great job saying that, you know, we created Facebook. Every person going on Facebook and sharing on Facebook has created the value in Facebook, but we didn't see that value in our pocket. 14 times X 14 multiple of revenue is a significant value. To be valued at $60+ billion is huge. What Ryan has now offered to us is that every member has the opportunity to participate in that value. You look at AT&T. If you're an employee at AT&T and have 10,000 shares, their share price is currently $36 a share. So you're getting $360,000 in value. eBay, the same thing. 10,000 shares is at $51 a share is $510,000 in value that you're receiving. This is in addition to, if you're an employee at eBay making $80,000 or $100,000 a year, it would take 5 years to get to $510,000 in value. And that's what Ryan is now making available to us, that we're getting shares in the company. So as you scale in the rank and become a social network or social executive, we're getting shares in the company. If you just look at where Solavei is today, we're on a march to 1 million, to have 1 million members. So if you think about 1 million members paying $49 every single month, that equates to about $600 million in revenue a year. So $600 million, at a $1 billion valuation, that's 45x. So you could take the number of shares that you're getting, which you're about to see, multiply that times 45, and that's the value that you're getting in those shares, in addition to the compensation plan. So this is above and beyond the monthly path pay and the trio pay that Solavei is paying us. At 2 million members, just double the numbers. You're at 90x, so a $90 share value for all of the options that you're getting. This is unprecedented in the industry. I don't think there's a company in the industry like this. I mean, Facebook is certainly not offering us shares to go on and use their services. Whereas here, as you become a member, not only are you saving money, you're earning monthly income. Now you have a ability to create a wealth that can go from your family to your children to your children's children. A very exciting thing, Stacy, that is remarkable that Solavei is doing for us.
It really is, Nathan. And so this is to introduce the Solavei Equity Program that is now available. Solavei has redefined the meaning of being a brand partner. Now it's possible for members, for you, for me, to earn equity in this company through this new compensation plan. Now, instead of just getting a one-time bonus, you have the opportunity to earn equity that could potentially be a long-term retirement for a lot of people. Now, Nathan, you and I happen to have been participants of another business that Ryan was CEO of, and I know that we both were able to benefit from that as equity shareholders and being able to participate in the big win of that company. It was a beautiful thing. Now, my husband and I, we didn't win as big as you. And we walked away from that company. I thought of this all weekend. And I thought of this all weekend. My husband and I, at that season of our lives, we moved into full-time, or my husband supported me, let me just say this, in a vision I had for many years to be in full-time ministry and travel and do a lot of missions work. And in doing that, we watched as this company, that although we had shares in the company, in that season between when we built the nonprofits that we built, the company continued to grow. Now, Nathan, I know that company, when you were able to cash in those stocks, you were able to make millions and millions and millions of dollars. What I want to say to the people today is this is a chance. When George Bush gave out that $1,000 stimulus, we were all very excited. I don't know if y'all remember that, but many people got $1,000 when George Bush became president. It was a one-time $1,000 hit. It was exciting. But you know what? We spent it and it was gone. And like most young people, I was younger, so was my husband, we spent it on things we thought we wanted at the moment. Well, the Solavei compensation plan in and of itself is doing more than that. It's not just giving a one-time bonus or cash injection. It's giving people an opportunity to earn $1,000 a month or more. every single month. Can you imagine if that was being put into the hands to stimulate the economy right now in America? Well, it is through Solavei. But now taking it to an entirely another level is the equity program, giving people an opportunity to continue to build their network, and instead of getting a one-time bonus, getting a lifetime plan. And so we're very excited about this new addition to the Solavei compensation plan. And I know that tomorrow night you're going to hear more, or tomorrow when you see the outlay of the webinar that was presented and that will be presented tonight on the Solavei Scoop, you'll see the full details. But let's just take a look at what was released this weekend. For Social Connector, there is going to be $2,500 of shares awarded upon achieving that rank. Of course, when you go to the social networker position, it's $5,000 for cumulative of $7,500. These are all cumulative. Social director, of course, is 10,000 more shares, which is a cumulative of 17,500. And then social executive, an additional 20,000 shares for a total of 37,500 shares. That is incredible. Nathan, talk to us right now about what that can do for an ordinary person right now who probably doesn't even understand the value of a share. They don't know what this means. They've heard about this. To them, it just means a piece of paper. Does this mean anything to me? Is it real money? Is the company just doing this because they're not wanting to pay out the bonuses? What is it?
So yeah, let me explain a couple things on options here, because what these are option grants that we're receiving from the company. An option grant is simply a right to buy stock. So when you receive the option, you will have an exercise price. The exercise price is the value of that share at the time of offering, so the fair market value today. This is where it has significant potential upside, because when they give us a stock option, so let's say today, and I'll just use round terms here to make it simple, if they give you a stock option for 10 options to purchase at a fair market value of $1, so you're going to spend $10 to buy those options. Well, over time, those shares then create value. So let's say 3 years down the road, those shares now have escalated to $10. So now your 10 shares are worth $100 that you paid $10 for. So you're making $90. Hopefully that makes sense. What it says here on the left, it says shares vest over a 4-year period with 12-month cliff. And everyone is saying, what does a cliff mean? The vesting period is 4 years. So when you receive the option grant, those will vest over a 4-year period, time-based. So you basically take the number of grants, divide by 4, and that's the amount that will vest each year. Now, post the first year, they'll begin to vest either monthly or quarterly, however the plan is set up. But over the first year, what a 12-month cliff means is that they'll still vest over the time, but they won't be available to purchase. So the options won't be available to turn those into shares, meaning that you exercise them, you pay the exercise price, and those become shares to you until after the first year. So it'll vest 1 year for the first quarter, and then each quarter thereafter, so 25%, will either vest over a monthly period or quarterly period. They haven't told us yet. So that's what the cliff means. It simply means that after 1 year, the shares will be available, or the options will be available to purchase shares that have vested, 25% of your option grant. As I said, whatever the shares are worth when an IPO happens or the company is sold or some liquidity event that the shares now have liquidity, you multiply the number of shares you have times the value. So here in this example, 7,500 shares times $45 is $337,500. So a significant value to you over the time period. So Stacy, maybe from your perspective, did that make sense, or do you want me to go through it again?
Let me just go over a couple questions that are coming in here, because I think this is really good, because what's going to happen is, again, you're going to see some of these same slides on the webinar with Ryan and with Jim. And clearly it is important for you to understand the value of what's being presented. Otherwise, you won't appreciate it. And I like to think of it this way, Nathan. There are three buckets that we like to think of, that we fish out of. And I'll probably do a training on this maybe here coming up real soon. And the three buckets are, you know, there's this one bucket of people who say, I want to make $20,000 a month or more, right? And that's less than 1% of the world that will ever do that, right? So I want to make more than $20,000 a month and show me the money. And, you know, we hear those kind of people in this industry. They're big talkers. They really, really want that. They're all about the money, the money, the money, the money. And then we've got the second bucket, which are people that are really an extra $1,000 a month would change their life. And that's what they're looking for. They're willing to do whatever they have to do to earn an extra $1,000 a month. And that's probably, I don't know, I'm making this up, maybe 20% of the people, maybe 10% of the people. But then there's the masses of millions and millions and hundreds of millions of people who, quite frankly, just earning free mobile service is a game changer for them. That's where they're going to play with us. And so you right now may be thinking of, wow, how am I going to explain this to you know, the big money earners? Well, most big money earners are going to look at this and go, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? A company is actually going to allow us to have options. A company is actually going to allow us to be treated like true brand partners. Then there's going to be the other folks that really, the millions and millions and millions, the chance for them to even play into a program like this will be revolutionary. There's two types of people. There's short-term people that have, like Ryan said, renter's mentality. They're looking for now money. They're looking at this and going, well, I don't want to stock. I don't want to share. I don't want options to buy. I want now money. And really, that's a renter's mentality. It's somebody that says, I just need now money to pay for the now bills. And honestly, that's where most people are right now, because we have now bills, right? But then there's those folks that also say, I'm looking for long-term residual income and wealth. I want to give my family a shot. I want to give my family a chance at legacy. I want to see my children live better than I ever got to live. I want to be able to see what we call generational wealth that lives beyond me. And Nathan, I think what we've got here, clearly there's going to be a learning curve for people to truly understand what all is being discussed here, and to be able to do that in increments. But certainly we're going to continue with that. We're going to do more webinars to let you know exactly what this means, how you explain it, because it is a big part now of our compensation, in addition to what Solavei has already laid out there as an amazing, incredible financial offering. If you can just think, this is a game changer for us in so many ways. Now, your path, as you can see, as you look at it, to becoming a social leader, a Solavei leader, you can see how we've gone ahead and added the equity options in here, so you can see how that ranks right along with our leadership rank bands going forward. So a few more updates, and you're probably saying, well, how is it that they're giving all of this out? What adjustments are being made? Well, clearly, the company looked at where the soft spots were, what was being achieved, if there's a FAB bonus, is it working, is it not working, is it creating the behaviors we want? And honestly, the FAB, fast action bonus, number one, was not creating the momentum and drive we needed. It wasn't creating the behaviors we wanted. We had people gaming the system, in other words, buying their way to get a FAB so that they could make that upfront money and then deactivating. And so clearly looking at it, it was something that was needed to be removed. The fast action bonus will be discontinued for new enrollments as of midnight tonight. The existing FAB clocks, if you've got one, if you're already in the FAB, if you already enrolled, and in fact, if you want to enroll some people between now and midnight Pacific, then you definitely want to do that tonight, because they will still get to qualify for a FAB. If you've got people that were thinking about signing up, get a hold of them. You've got 5 hours to be able to get them in the FAB session. For those that come in the future, they'll never hear about the FAB unless you tell them. But for those of you who have some folks that are on the line and you want to go ahead and get them in on that extra $50 per trio for the first 4 trios in the first 60 days, contact them, let them know now's the time to get started so they can get that extra $200 fast action bonus. After 11:59 p.m. tonight, there will be no more fast action bonus. The second thing is the path pay bonuses, as I explained a minute ago. Those are going to be discontinued. You'll see now in that column, instead of the fast action bonus, a one-time bonus, you're now being given equity options to be able to actually have the potential of ownership in the future of Solavei. And of course, Trio Pay for PC2, as we mentioned before, is being paid out at $10 starting April 16th. So those are some of the updates. I know we've already explained those and given you those updates, but those are some of the updates too. I just wanted to make sure we put those up on the screen for you. Okay, so hopefully, I'm
Stacey,
sure
I
that's
might
got.
clarify one of the.
Sure.
Yeah, I was just going to clarify one of the things that people. So the rank advancement. So with the new compensation plan, wherever you are at the end of March 31st. You will continue to receive that path pay for both April and May if your rank goes down. So
Good.
you would be receiving less pay than you're currently repaying. So that basically gives us in excess of 2 months, almost 2.5 months, that if your overall network size has changed and your monthly path pay will have gone down, that you can get that back up to where you were before. Now, and this is why it's very important to watch the updated webinar they recorded today, because Jim Ryan does go through how to calculate in the interim where you would fall in this new ranking system with the counting of trios. They will be rolling out an update to Outreach Manager that will do it all for you, so don't be alarmed that you're going to have to go through what Jim Ryan goes through. That hopefully will be rolled out in the next several weeks. But it's important to note that we do have a little bit of time here. They've given us pretty advanced notice before they implement, so that we're not falling back in pay without time to correct.
Right, and I know we're going over time here. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to slow down, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and put it all into this one webinar so that you guys can get all the information. I'll let you guys know that 2 months, and thank you, Nathan, for reminding me of that. It's real important because that gives you the time in 2 months. I'll let you guys know in 2 months, my network grew by tens of thousands of people going after that 12 who get 12 who get 12. Now going after 15 that get 15, that's going to put you in the qualification zone of potentially qualifying for that cruise to 1,000 air. I'm going to tell you more about that. There's been some updates to that as well coming up here in just a minute. But those 2 months are very important because that's going to give you the opportunity to do what you need to do. I know personally, under these new qualifications, I've got to go out and get some more PC1 trios so that I have multiple entities and I've spread out my personal enrollments. I need to go into my primary social executive account. I've got 2 months to do it, 60 days to do it, and I'm going to go out and I've got to get a few more trios. You're probably going to, for those of you who are listening, you're probably going to have some things you're going to need to do as well in order to continue ranking through the rank band, or if you're actually trying to reach a new rank, that's going to be. But listen, what's great about the grandfathering thing, it's giving you the 60 days to do it. And then if you've achieved a rank, that rank is going to be grandfathered. You'll maintain the rank. You'll just have to qualify in order to be paid at that rank. So hopefully that, you know, I just see right now I'm getting a text. I was hoping that he would be with us tonight, and he said that he is on right now. Let me just look here on our list. Hang on, everybody. There he is. I know he had quite the weekend this weekend, and probably, like many of you, had multiple feelings about everything that was unloaded this weekend. And I have been watching his posts all day today, and I have to tell you, Ron, oh my goodness, I'm getting emotional again. The joy I've seen coming out of your posts, the elation, I feel like you get it, and I'm so excited. Please help me welcome to the webinar social networker Ryan Lelf. Ryan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can, Ryan. I would like to know from you, what are you feeling coming off of this event, and how do you feel you're going to move forward in projecting your business going forward?
Well, I appreciate you having me on. The quote that came to me actually as I was driving back to the house tonight from my men's league basketball championship game that unfortunately we came on the short end of the stick. But the quote that came to me was, it's not about what we had, it's all about what we have. And that just hit me, because 9 months ago I got presented with a company and an opportunity and a vision, and I chose to believe in it. I chose to trust in the leadership, and I chose to go all in. And we were given a set of rules, and we played by those rules and strategically put time, effort, energy, sweat, everything we had into building the network to the best of our ability based on the rules of the compensation game that we were playing. And so when we first got hit with the information, we had some obviously tough emotions because the game was being changed. And all I can say is we are so fortunate because of the rank we've been able to achieve, only because we have such a great network of people and so many great leaders. Your husband, Larry, immediately found us and began talking to us. We got to spend an extra hour with you and him. And then the night of dinner with Ryan and being able to even sit by him for 30, 45 minutes and to really understand why the changes are being made and what is going on with the company and how the company had been studying stuff for 90 days. And honestly, when I started understanding all of that, you know, I think most people who know me at this point, I have an extremely high belief in Solavei and what we're doing here, tons of confidence. And if you would have told me after the first initial shock of the change that I would leave with even more confidence, even more belief, I don't know if I could have believed you at that moment. But to hear Ryan talk about, you know, this idea that we want to do something different, you know, I thought, well, maybe we just start trying to embrace ourselves in the arena of direct sales or network marketing because of maybe a negative connotation. I wasn't sure. But what I discovered was, no, we're not afraid to be in that arena. We just want to do something that's never been done before. And when he started talking about how these changes have been ran to scale, that when we hit 1 million members, 10 million members, the company makes it. The company's sound financially. The company's profitable. We get to be here in 5 years. We get to be here in a decade. We get to be here in 30 years. And when he said he told some of his other close friends who are in the arena of direct sales and network marketing, and they almost mocked him and made fun of him and said, you can't give salespeople ownership. You can't give people who just come and go a chance to be true partners in a business. And he said, we not only can, we are, because we are going to attract a different mindset, a different quality of human being, and a person who's sick and tired of being ran around and only the big guys and only the special few get in. No, you come here, you roll your sleeves up, you put your heart and soul into it, you believe in it, and you go share and you build a network. You're the story. You're the one that creates something generational for your family. You're the one with the grandkids sitting on your leg and your knee talking about how you said yes and you chose to believe. I'm getting chills as I think about it. I'm so excited. It's time to go into hyper growth. We have never been more thrilled to be involved with a group of people and a part of a company than we are right now. Thank you so much for having me on the call.
Ryan, thank you so much. What a joy to hear you, your passion, your conviction. And you guys, I just want to say this, and we're going to continue on with the webinar. As Ryan said, there is so much to say Solavei is different. Solavei is revolutionary. Solavei is changing the game. And I believe the more you track with these leaders and the leaders that are truly that were there this weekend, that felt it, that see it, that understand it, you are going to see, I really believe this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Now, I want to move real quickly, a couple of more updates. We're going to talk about the Thousandaire, Cruise to Thousandaire, a tip of the week that you're going to find that's going to come out in the Solavei Scoop, which has not been yet been released, but it will be released probably tonight before you go to bed. You'll get up in the morning, it'll be there. Is that you can now pay your bill by phone when you call 1-866-SOLAVEI and just select the make a payment option. Of course, to make your payment, you'll have to have some information there, like your member ID, which is the full 10 digits, your mobile number, credit card expiration, a few other things. So But it is available by calling 866 Solavei. So for those folks that you know that need to pay their bill by the phone, they can do that and just select the make a payment option. Solavei Regional Orlando is now posted Friday, April 26th, 2013, and Saturday, April 27th, 2013. You're going to see the night is going to start off Friday with the free Solavei Social, 6:30 to 7:30. Everyone is welcome. Bring everybody you can that night. I tell you, here's the cool part. You bring them, you get them in that room. You let them hear CEO and founder Ryan Wirch. Let them experience the excitement, the energy, the synergy of top leaders walking around the room, getting pictures. It is the best place for you to sign people up. Then, right after that, there's a 30-minute break. Let them know that the top leaders, thousandaires and above, are going into a closed room session. Let them feel that feeling of wanting to be in that room. Those thousandaires and above at 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock are going to get to hear brand new updates and training that no one else will get to hear. So for those of you who want to be a part of that, push it right now, but between now and then, get yourself to thousandaire, get qualified as that so you can be in that room. Then Saturday morning, we're going to wake up 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. You are going to hear not only from our corporate executives and special guest speakers, training, recognition. Those of you who are thousandaires are going to get recognized walking across the stage, getting your thousandaire plaque. Those of you who are ranking above that, you're going to get recognized on stage. You're going to hear from our CEO and founder, as well as be able to hear from the top members of the company, special training. You guys can just go on Facebook and look at some of those posts. Some of us made a fool of ourselves in order to get the points across. But it's at the Hilton Orlando. Of course, members are $29, and if you bring an extra person, it can be $49. Very, very excited. Solavei Revolution Regional Orlando is on the map. So you can go and register right now for that by going to connect.solavei.com. Go to connect.solavei.com. All right. Here is our new leaderboard for the Cruise to Thousandaires, and right after this, I'm going to give you an update of what changed about the qualifications. Cruise to Thousandaire leaderboard right now, look at these names. Crazy, crazy enrollments going on here. And what we're finding is, and I mean, I'm just loving this. Look, 38 PC1, plus he's duplicating it. Those people are all going out getting someone 64 in his PC2. Also, obviously, Jason has got something going on. I'm thinking we need to have him speak at one of these events and find out what on earth is Jason doing. But here's what's exciting. So many of you, I've been cranking my way up that leaderboard. I think today I was 33. I mean, I was like 204, and I was like, dadgummit, I am not going to be a leader of this company and not make it on that cruise. So I have been enrolling and helping those people enroll and giving special incentives for my people who get those trios. And so I want you guys to do the same. Have that trio a week mentality, and you're going to see it now. It's the first 100 people who qualify. So watch this. Here's a change that made the first 100 people who qualify. Now these 10 have made it. They're going on the Cruise to Thousandaire. But watch this. Things have changed just a little bit. Remember, it takes 15 in your PC1 and 30 in your PC2 for you to be able to qualify to go. Now, these guys have done that. Obviously, these three here are getting a cruise for 2 with an inside cabin. These guys in the gray are getting a cruise for 1. But there's 100 that are going to get to go. So watch this. Game has changed as of this weekend. Leaders, you guys have a chance. I know all these new people coming in have fresh markets, and you guys were saying, well, that's not fair. These guys are all getting fresh markets. Well, guess what? You're going to have to go after some folks, because here's what was laid on the table this weekend. Because you're all going to be ranking anyhow with the new system, look what's happening. If you rank under the new qualifications for Thousandaire, this is your qualification band right here. Connectors, networkers, directors, and executives. If you can rank as an executive between now and the end of the qualification period of May 31st, you're going to be able to see, if you're executive, you'll be able to go ahead and cruise for 2, junior suite cabin with balcony airfare for 2. I'm telling you, I'm going for that, baby. What that means is not only do you have to qualify for that rank under the new compensation plan structure, but you also need to get 6 new PC1 and PC2 trios of which 4 of them need to be in your PC1, and that started as of yesterday. So get this, that means people like me, even though I'm actually trying to qualify under the old rules as well, people, let's just take me for example, I would need to go out and get 4 new personal trios, personal direct trios in my PC1, 12 people. I need to go enroll 12 people, and then I also need to have 2 additional trios that are in my PC1 and PC2. So hopefully you guys see that. Now, rank must stay active. You can't just hit the rank and fall back. You got to stay active through June 31st. I hope you guys see that. I hope you guys understand that. That's a big deal for those of you leaders. Now, the first 100 members who are at the rank of 1,000 or above in the new compensation plan, and add 4 new personal quality trios and 6 PC1, PC2 trios. In other words, you got to have 6, of which 4 have to be brought into you yourself between March 15th and May 31st. And they are going to join the other 100 qualifiers on the cruise in September. Okay, so that is exciting news and adds a little spice to the mix to get all you leaders that are ranked up and going and getting your 4 trios and 6 in your PC1, PC2. All right. Tonight, we have very special with us, and I know we're running late. I really don't care. I'm going to stay up as late as we have to stay up. We still have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people on the phone, and so I'm going to welcome to the call right now someone who is this week's spotlight. You're going to see him. It is Robert Savillano, and I'm just going to unmute you. Robert, are you with us?
Yeah. Yes, Stacey.
Well, Robert, it's great to see you there on that screen with our CEO and founder this weekend. There on stage, as well as you there with some of your team members, and me there on the right. I love that picture of us with some of your team members up there in New Jersey. Robert, tonight we want to know from you. You are a master wholesale dealer. You have been that for over 15 years, doing amazing things as a dealer, and you have had some tremendous success with your Solavei business. And thank you, whoever told me to take that off my screen. Solavei business, we want to know, here's what I want to know, because I have a lot of folks that want to approach dealers. They want to know how to connect with dealers. We want you tonight, tell us what are some things that we need to know how to connect with dealers. But first off, let me say, congratulations, booyah, hoot and holler for Robert Savillano, Social Networker 3. Robert, I'm so honored and privileged to have you a part of the team and to have you as such a great friend in my life. Please welcome to the call. You there, Robert?
Yes, I'm here, Stacey. Thank you for being a great leader, doing this hard work for everyone. You know, the 3 things that I always do, and I train my people, is that, you know, the way you wanna approach dealer, first thing you wanna do is brand yourself. You know, you want to go in there, look professional, have a Solavei shirt on, have a Solavei cap on to walk into a store, making sure that you come in there knowing that these dealers are, what is Solavei? You know, now it's up to you to explain it to them. Usually I come up to them, you know, I am one of the founding members. I'm actually I also now part of being an owner for Solavei because of the shares that Ryan has offered to us.
Wow, that's great.
You know, and they asked about it. You know, it's a new plan under T-Mobile, which is unlimited talk, text, 4G data, and there's a way that you guys can make a monthly residual. And I know myself that other MVNOs out there, you cannot make $1,000 a month within this next few months. So I get their interest, and they like to know more what Solavei is about. You know, Solavei made us videos for us to make our life much easier. The 2 videos I let them watch is What is Solavei? Right after that, I let them watch the Solavei compensation plan. And from there on, all the questions that they had has been answered. You know, and then from there, it's just like questions and answers, and whatever I can help them with the best of my ability. And as soon as I come in there, let them watch a compensation plan, what is Solavei. I have my SIM cards, I have the marketing materials, having them ready. As soon as I walk out that door, I make sure that they're all signed up and ready to go. Make sure that they are fully equipped, whatever they need to know, whatever they need to do. I make sure that as soon as I leave there, they're excited and ready to go.
So, Robert, one of the questions that came in here, when you say marketing materials, what are some of the marketing materials you would suggest that they show or leave?
They should have at least in their hand is a banner, a poster, and the brochures. You know, the brochures helps anyone that comes in as a new customer, and so at least the brochure, they can go home with something that they can read more about it.
Excellent. Well, so for somebody that is going out, and the other day I know Erin Wolf, for example, and maybe you can remember that example. She went, she connected with somebody that was a dealer and had a number of questions. What are some of the most frequently asked questions that you think that people get as it relates to connecting with dealers?
Well, one of the first things they ask is how will they accept payments? You know, accepting the payments is one of the first thing I mentioned to them is that, you know, if a person does not have a credit card, we tell them to use our company credit card. You know, once they enroll them, we take the cash and the company credit card, we use them as a payment. You know, as soon as they receive the debit card, they can load that debit card and make a payment with their Solavei plan. At the same time, they're going to be earning money with that Solavei debit card they offer, so they can also earn and pay their bill with that debit card.
Well, Robert, what is something that you feel after coming off this weekend with the Solavei Regional? What is something that you would say to these folks? What you're feeling?
Oh, what I got off the best is like when I got to hear Ryan that he's offering us generation wealth. You know, all the hard work that we put in will pay off because my family, my kids will be affected to it with all my hard work. You know, it's basically what Ryan has showed us is they're being generous. He's actually watching out for our future about this. So we put our hard work to it. I put my hard work to it, and then everything pays off. And now I'm just supporting my guys. At the same time that's why we have a store that supports our downlines to be able to come in there and help them train in the same time. So that's how much I believe in Solavei, and I have told Ryan that, you know, I'm putting 100% on this.
Awesome.
And I'm going to help him march to the million.
I agree, and we are so excited, Robert. Your leadership, I gotta say, is so extraordinary. I love having you on our leadership calls. You bring such value, not only to us in the leadership team, but also to all of those that you have worked with that are not in your network and that are just excited about going after dealers, and you've been so generous to share your information with folks. Thank you so much for being a part. Congratulations on being this week's Spotlight member. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Okay, so one of the things, a clarification on the cruise to Thousandaire. I've just received a text from the corporate offices wanting to make sure that you know that it's a bonus cruise opportunity that's with the cruise to Thousandaire and not a change. It's a bonus. So it's important for you guys to realize that this is on top of what was already discussed. Now, I know none of you asked that question. I'm going through the questions, and none of y'all seem to have a question on that, but they seem to think you might. So I'm always happy to be corrected if I said it wrong. But Cruise to 1,000 is a bonus opportunity, and so it's not or, you know, like the old qualifications or the new one. It's on top of. So it's a bonus opportunity. Okay, so let's move on, and then I'm going to open it up to questions and answers here at the end. First off, for those of you who are needing to bounce before I open, I've got some great questions here. Here's your call to action this week. Number one, I encourage you, if you haven't already taken the 1K challenge, do so. Oh my goodness, are you guys loving those emails? I got one today. The how-tos that are coming through on those emails are phenomenal. And if you're not already on the 1K Challenge email system, then you want to do that. It is absolutely wonderful, the information and training that we are getting on a daily basis that are coming to us every day, every 3 to 5 days. I encourage you to make sure that you take the 1K Challenge so you can be a part of that. And make sure all your people do too. Man, that is free training you're giving to your people. Get on autopay, of course. I reiterate that every week. Join us for Wednesdays. This Wednesday, we've got a new Internet Marketing Google Hangout. It is this week going to be with myself, Roxana, Hannah, a couple other leaders. You're going to be able to participate and watch. How do you want to access that? You're going to go to empoweredliving.biz, and right there on the bottom right-hand side, you're going to be able to see how you can empoweredliving.biz/hangout. empoweredliving.biz/hangout. Of course, it's posted right there on the homepage of empoweredliving.biz. That is going to be every week at 10 a.m. Pacific. That's noon Central Standard Time. That's 1 o'clock Eastern. So for those of you who are having your lunch break, great time to do it. Of course, we're going to record those and post them, but we want you to be there. A part of it's going to be really cool. We're going to open it up. We're going to be letting people ask questions. It's going to be a real good social time. Internet Marketing Google Hangout with some of the best internet marketers. Okay, number 3, register for Thursday's Empowering You training webinar at empoweredliving.biz. This is our Thursday advanced training webinar. Make sure you tap into that. We are going to continue going through, taking questions all week this week, and going through how we can break down all of these wonderful advancements that Solavei has given to us, as well as some advanced marketing tips on that webinar. So that will be Thursday. You can register at empoweredliving.biz. The link is right there on the right. Number 4, invite guests to watch the Solavei socials this week at socials.solavei.com. That's socials.solavei.com. Of course, you can see all that information. Again, you can go to check that out there. And 5, get a trio this week. As you can see, wow, little did we know how important that trio a week mentality would become. I love the fact that we've gotten ourselves into that habit. Today, got on the call with some of my leaders, and we were all talking because of the weekend. We were so busy with the event. 4 of us showed up. Only 1 showed up with the trio completed, and 4 of us showed up with 2 needing 1 more. So we had a little race on who could get their trio first by midnight, so it was pretty fun. Anyhow, have a trio a week mentality, and you are going to crush it through this compensation plan and be able to see how many people really do want to save money on their mobile services. Well, remember, now is the time. This is the place, and you are the one to start the revolution. I encourage you, register for our upcoming webinars and calls at empoweredliving.biz. Be sure to check the Solavei Scoop, because it's going to have the link to the recording of everything that CEO and founder Ryan Wirch and Jim Ryan gave last night, only a clean, updated version, and you're going to be able to tap into that. You should be getting that in your inbox. You can also check at mysolavei.com for the Solavei Scoop. And remember, again, I'm going to sign off right now. My name is Stacey Wallace, and I'm going to open it up to question and answers here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody, we're off air, and I'm going to pop off here and look at our questions. Let me just see. I have a number of people asking the scenario about the trios. They said, here's one. Are you kidding me? It's divide by 3, meaning that if that I bring in A and they get 2 people, and I bring in B and they only bring in 1 person, that means those 2 that A brought in and that 1 person, that equals a trio. If it's on the same level, you better believe it, it's divide by 3. So very, very cool, very big deal. I hope that answers your question right there. It's incredibly more simple. The divide by 3 versus calculating who has 1 and who has 2 and who has, 2.5, and who's good in 30 days. And oh my goodness, this is such a huge gift to all of us here. Okay, let me go through. Yes, I agree. For those of you who are new, this is incredible timing for you. It's great. It's exciting. Honestly, this is so great. There's some work that those of us who are in upper ranks that we have to do. We got to get hustling. But for those of you that are just in, and for those of you that are achieving thousandaire and networker, man, fantastic opportunity. This lays it out. Somebody's asking a question right here. Stacy, is there no money being made up to $250 a month, meaning social partner? Absolutely there is. There's Trio Pay. Trio Pay, Trio Pay, Trio Pay, divide by 3. That means that you get 3 people, that's $20 a month. Get 6 people yourself, that's $40 a month. That's in your PC1. Then, of course, you get an extra $10 a month for every single trio in your PC2. Remember, doesn't matter where they're at, as long as they're in your PC2, divide by 3. Very, very exciting. Let me just look here. Yes, the question is PathPay in addition to Trio Pay? Yes, it's in addition to Trio Pay. Do we have access to these slides that are on the webinar? Not yet. You can access the webinar. However, we will have this posted on Empowered Living Biz as well as facebook.com/Empowered Living TV. So those 2 places. So you'll be able to go to empoweredliving.biz. I'll get it posted up. It's probably going to take me a little bit to get it downloaded. And then you can also find it on YouTube. And then, of course, we'll all be blasting it out on our Facebooks. Question here, Adele, who is Larry Wallace? He is one good-looking man. I happen to be married to him, and he is our head of corporate development at Solavei. Fantastic. All right. Stacy, this is so exciting! Exclamation, exclamation. Dr. Jimmy Pierce, I agree. It's a game changer, I know, and we're excited about it. Are PATH bonuses still available? No, in the new compensation plan structure, PATH bonuses are being replaced with equity. And so, like Nathan said, the options that are being made available. So we're going from a one-time bonus to a potentially life-changing opportunity for you and your family. So I see some folks. No, the comp plan is not effective immediately. It goes into effect, I believe it's April. Oh, you need guys. I don't want to guess it. When you go into the support community, you're going to be able to see it, but you're also going to be able to see the compensation plan there. You can go to empoweredliving.biz and see the new compensation plan PDF, and then check your Solavei scoop tonight and get that. I just don't want to give you the wrong time. Okay, let me just see here. Stacy, I'm confused. Why is there such a big jump going from 54 people up to 500 trios? Well, let me just tell you the way the actual compensation plan has been working. When we talk about thousandaire, thousandaire was that you had to have 20 trios to become a thousandaire in your overall network, plus, of course, your personal network qualifications. No one was making it in 20 trios. Like I said before, I had tens of thousands of people in my network and only 5,000 trios. So there were like 15, 20,000 people, 30,000 people, a lot of thousands of people that were not qualifying in trios. So it was taking way too many people to equal the amount of trios. Now what's happening is it's just divide by 3. So even though it's 1,500 trios, you will see how much faster it is to develop those trios in your organization, having this divide by 3, which is going to allow us to scale even faster and with a much more sustainable process. So you're not going from 54 people to 1,500 in comparison to the old chart. So if you're thinking, wow, this looks harder, you need to compare it to what it actually took to get 20 trios. Some people had 1,000 people to get 20 trios because they had spread themselves out and built their structure out so weird, and people were getting in and they were getting 1 person, or they were just getting 2 people, but they weren't getting a full trio. Now people don't have to get a full trio in your organization for you to get credit for them. It's just divide by 3, and that is really, really, really good news. Okay. It is Brent Darty, is this per group or per person regarding the equity program? It is per entity. So if you have an entity under your Social Security number, or if you have 4 entities under your Social Security number, as you rank that entity, you will be able to receive the shares that are afforded there. So those options. So you will be able to see as you scale You can have up to 6 entities per social security number. So for those of you who are wanting to do a stock run and make it like a land rush and get as much as you possibly want, then my encouragement to you is live with massive action like me, and don't sleep. Be excited and understand the vastness of this. I'll tell you guys, this weekend, I believe this is so big that this weekend I was walking around everything that the company gave me in every room. Whoever was in that room, I had them sign the piece of paper that was given to me. I really believe this is going to be historical. And I believe that this is not just pieces of paper that are being thrown around. I truly believe we're going to make history. And I don't know about you guys. I want to be a chapter in that book. And I want you to be a chapter in that book as well. And it's all about you taking action. This is an opportunity that's laid before you. I don't know of any other company that's offering you this kind of opportunity. And if you have a job right now that you say, well, this is too hard. No, hard is working day in and day out. I was watching a guy with a jackhammer today on the side of the road. And my friend Denise Garrick said, now that is a tough job. And yet people complain about having to go out and call people, sitting in their chair, you know, drinking their coffee while they're making phone calls. This is not hard, you guys. Yes, it takes effort. Yes, it takes diligence. But what's being laid on the table for you is an opportunity not to have to go out and go play the stock market. You are being given an opportunity to own shares, to purchase shares in a company that very well could hit its marker and become a multi-billion-dollar company. I don't know about you, but that excites me a lot. My mother wants me to put commas on the 25 and 5,000 in Solavei Equity Program screen. Thank you, Mom. I will take that and we will make those adjustments. That was a corporate slide and I will tell them the same thing. Excellent. Always looking to be better. Thank you for correcting me and making me better. Okay. Let me just see. Okay, Stacy, I have this question from several of my team members, Ricardo, Gloria. If I have 10 trios in my PC1 and 8 trios in my PC2, am I a thousandaire? Absolutely, you are. Because a thousandaire means that you have to have 18 total trios in your PC1 and PC2, of which, what was it, 5 of them have to be in your PC1. So that there would qualify you. You would be good to go. Paul Matlock says, Stacy, now I can really leave a legacy for my family besides in earning the incredible money now. I agree, Paul. This is a great, great, great opportunity. Let me just look here. How many total trios are required to be social thousandaire? There is not a qualification in overall trios, just the trios that are in your PC1 and PC2, of which 5 must be in your PC1. Thank you, Dana, for asking that. Let's take, yes, Frank McMillian. There is a 1 per payday per month now instead of the twice per month. I'm very excited about that as well. Another great change is that we will now all be able to push to the end of the month. The snapshot that is taken at the end of the month will be paid. There'll be a snapshot at the end of the month. Whatever your rank is at the end of the month, you will be paid out. I believe on the 12th of that month will be our payday. So it'll give us all an opportunity. If anybody's been in sales, man, it's been difficult knowing what to push for when you have these 2 different pushes. So now we'll push to the end of the month. Everybody gets paid on the 12th. We'll all celebrate, sing, and have some cute little something another virgin drinks with umbrellas in them on that day together. Where do we find the replays of these webinars? You know, we have, and we are updating the empoweredliving.biz site. You guys are going to love it. While we were at the regional, we actually took a video of all the different teams that are playing in on that particular site. Roxana Hanna, Gary Craig, Nathan Gooden, Danny Chambers, Jerry Foster, Roxana Hanna, James Linhart, I'm hoping I'm not forgetting people, Ricardo Gloria, Donna Wirch, Mike Rogers, and the list goes on and on and on. All these incredible leaders that are playing in. We've recorded a video so that when you go there, you know this is your site, and we're going to be updating it with all these webinars, putting them on there, and letting everybody know that there is that one-stop shop, as well as facebook.com/empowered living TV. You'll be able to go there as well. Okay, so let me take one more question. John Haley wants to know, is it 6,000 network trios or 6,000 people that you need in order to reach social executive? In that particular slide, that is 6,000 overall network trios. So that would be 18,000 people, but it's divide by 3. And again, let me just tell you from example and experience, that is a lot better than 2,000 trios under the old plan. I was at, I believe it was 28,000 people, and I still hadn't hit the 2,000 trio mark. And so this is really, really good, you guys. As you scale, having this divide by 3 transparency is absolutely brilliant. No, Amir, you said we only needed 300 people before to get to 2,000. Now we need 1,500 people. That is not true. You may have thought you only needed 300 people because you're thinking that people actually built out in perfect trios, and they didn't. That was the problem. To get 20 trios to become 1,000-aire was taking people a lot more than 60 people, because trios were not forming. People were getting 1 person, and some people were getting 2. Now that's okay if they do get 1 and 2, because it's divide by 3. Those people will still have the potential to be a part of a trio, which will allow those numbers to grow. Okay, so let me just, I said one more. I'm just scanning through here real quick. Yes, I agree. Craig Lewis says, powerful message that Ryan gave, and that's why you guys all want to watch it in the recording of what is the value of the social equity program. Of course, he goes through a lot more slides that he has available, and we'll be doing that. Make sure you check your Solavei scoop and get the details in the scoop. I hope tonight's webinar has helped some of you understand it a little bit more. Thank you again, everyone. Somebody's saying here, Stacy, my mentality to all of this has changed to positive to this since this webinar. Thank you for explaining it. You've made it very transparent and understandable. I now understand that this is in my favor. Well, I agree, and I appreciate that you posted that. I think a lot of people feel the same. I'm seeing that out of a lot of people here. Love you guys, appreciate you. I really do love the fact that this is making us all brand partners, whether you're in my network or Jerry Foster's or Gary Craig's or Ryan Lelf's. We're now one team, and we play for one Solavei. You win, I win. I win, you win. And what's exciting is you can say, Stacy, go get them. Go keep recruiting. Get more people. Because if you're sharing in Solavei equity, that's a good thing for you as well. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of tonight's webinar. I look forward to seeing you Wednesday with Roxana Hanna on our live Google Hangout. Check it out at empoweredliving.biz.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected. Goodbye.